Warning: the following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on the show are reflective of AJ Orsini and his guests exclusively. But seriously, guys, the show's called Uncensored. If you got a problem with bad language, I really don't give a shit. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is finally time. It is finally here. It's Wrestlemania season. Now, I know I'm jumping the gun by one weekend. Of course, Wrestlemania will take place the 10th and the 11th. But being as though we didn't have a Wrestlemania last year, and I'm 2 years into debt, I'm going to start early. That's right, I'm blowing 2 loads this week, and the first load is tonight, and it's right now.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
How the hell is everybody out there? These are your boys, your mates, your job soul brothers from exactly, specifically the same exact mother. I am AJ Orsini, of course, once again joined by my boy and my brother, Deceived Dave, who was in the house. And we are not alone. No, that's not the way I usually do it. We are not alone. I forgot I haven't done it in a while. We are starting WrestleMania Night 1 with a round table. I've got 2 guests with me here who are going to be kicking ass, and we're going to be talking old school WrestleManias 1 to 36. We're going to break them all down in a specific type of way, but I am joined by one of my favorite individuals in the entire world, of course, the man who should have the shirt by now that says murder is bad. I'm here with the main man himself, founder voice, Joe Pombo. Yes. You're back on the show, brother. I had to bring out...
I have returned.
Yeah, he has returned. I had to break him out for Mania weekend. The poor bastard is doing double duty. He will be live with me again next week for night 2 as we go through the WrestleMania 37 card, but I got his ass here early. And, of course, the 4th member of our crew here, pull it in, hold it in the caboose here, clean up hitter early here on the end. I am here with a returning member of the show. Has not been here in quite some time, but I'm here with Matthew Carabello, straight from the Bronx. He's in the BX right now. He's told us about 17 times that he's in the Bronx. So just so everyone's aware, he's in the boogie down. Yes, Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good here in the Bronx.
He is good in the Bronx.
Okay.
He's in the house.
Having some McDonald's fries while we do this.
There you go.
We have a little special guest with us too, another member, which is my dog. She keeps on jumping back and forward with me. So if you see a little ear pop up.
That's all right. By the end of the show, she'll be the most popular
exactly what we're talking about.
There you go. She knows her shit. She's probably going to chime in on some of these brackets.
She lays on her papa's leg and watches wrestling every week. So
there you go. I can't wait to see where she lands on that WrestleMania 17 main event. Dave, I haven't seen you since last week.
Yeah, 7 days.
7 days. We wrapped up international. We wrapped up International Women's Month last week. We went in very
where we proceeded to kill and then praise women.
Yes, we both broke them down and rebuilt them in our image last week. I still want that Bella Twin conversation to go on YouTube because that's probably that's one of the greatest conversations on this show ever. Because we're both right and wrong in everything that we said. That's how beautiful it was. But we wrapped up International Women's Month. We're still interested in doing something monthly. But unfortunately for all of that, this is
1 week out of the month.
We were doing a weekly thing throughout the month.
Work.
We did African American history in February. We did the women in March. But this is Wrestlemania season for me. And for those of you who are unaware and you haven't heard any of the previous shows, allow me to reiterate how important WrestleMania season is to me. To me, and I've said this multiple times, I have 5 important times in my life. 5, okay? The 5th one I've left open because I'm graduating soon, so that will be That will make my top 5. Okay.
TBD.
Yeah, that was my family. Anything that I do with my family, Dave in that group would be 4.
Don't flatter me.
The birth of my son is 3. My marriage is 2, and WrestleMania is 1. And that is the order that it goes in my heart and life and house. Okay. This is accepted amongst the people in my life. And it's not like a particular WrestleMania. I'm excited about this year's WrestleMania. Next year, I'll be more excited than this year. I've increasingly, over time, gotten more and more excited about WrestleManias, except for last year. But we'll get to you in a little second, 36. You bastard redheaded stepchild. We'll talk about you in a second. But WrestleMania is extremely important to me. It's the most important time of the year. It's my holy day of Sabbath. Now I get 2 days of holy Sabbath for WrestleMania 37. I'm going to start off with a little friendly chatter here. Matthew, I'll start with you. What are your plans for WrestleMania weekend? What are you doing? What are you up to? You doing a party? Are you booked? You got shows coming up? What's your deal? What are you doing for WrestleMania season?
I was gonna go down to Tampa, but not gonna do it.
Okay.
This year, I'm basically gonna be here. I may just go to my cousin's house Saturday night. May just watch it here at home, relax with my girl and some beers, or I may just watch it all on Sunday with my friend who I just finished coming back from his bar. He might just be showing all of WrestleMania on Sunday from the morning to the nighttime. So let's see. But I'm gonna watch it for sure. I never miss a WrestleMania. I think I've been watching WrestleMania since I was born. I was born in '87, so that was WrestleMania 3, Hogan Andre. So
yep,
I was born for this.
I was born for this.
And I do it, so it makes it even better.
Pombo, where are you at with this? What are your WrestleMania 37 plans, my friend?
Well, my WrestleMania plans are curling up on the couch with my lady, and we're going to watch Snugglefest with WrestleMania. So,
there you go. There you go. Snugglefest.
Yeah, it'll be WrestleMania with a underscore of Snugs.
Hashtag Snugs. Dave, do you have any mania? Will you even be watching as it happens? Are you going to catch it at a later date? What's your plans for WrestleMania?
Schedule given.
Yes,
I'm trying to watch it, but I'll watch it live. If not, I'll just end up watching it kind of throughout the week because it's a lot. So if I don't catch it live, and I have to watch it at my own time. I'm watching that bitch. I'm spreading that shit across the whole week because that's way too much for me in one shot.
I was at 35 in Jersey, and I was sitting there going, I was like, the whole because at that time it was a rumor that they were like, yeah, we may split it up next year. And I'm like, wow, that would be helpful, bro, because I've been here since noon and it's midnight, and I'm trying to figure out where my life is. Also,
I remember 29 was like that too. People missed the train.
Oh, see, you just
because allowing it, they stopped the trains going back.
You just reminded me. So 29, I went to both. I was at 29 and I was at 35. Okay, when I went to 29. A few trains had gotten off, and then it kind of came to a halt. Like there was some sort of miscommunication, and it was really, really bad. 35, one fucking train left, and then it became a whole thing. Guess who was on the one train? But I still say that it was extra fucked up because after the one train left, I don't know if anybody did say this out loud, but I'm sure the person that said, man, this is really fucked up was even more mad when it started to fucking rain on them. Ooh, it started raining at 35, and I was like, ha, ha, ha. Not me, brother. Not me, because I know the drill. My wife, as soon as the entrances happened for Rousey, Charlotte, and Becky, once the entrances were over, we made our way downstairs. We watched it on the screen. And we said, no, we'll watch it down. Well, we could still see the ring, but from where we were, it was a better view. Soon as that 1, 2, 3, you could just see a herd. It was like Jurassic Park. Everyone just started woo toward that train, and that was it. I actually have I found I'm going to be releasing this on YouTube about midweek. I forgot because it was on an old phone that I did a video diary that day. I was recording before we went on the train in the building. I recorded us leaving the building and catching that hell about getting on the train. I recorded us on the train. I accidentally made a 15-minute documentary and didn't realize it on my phone. So I put it together, and I'm going to be releasing it this week because I thought it was very, very interesting, and I was hilarious. So I think you guys should really take note of that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Fun fact: that was my wife's first WrestleMania.
35.
Yeah,
nice.
The first time she's ever gone live.
Nice. I got to take the bro over here to a fucking Mania.
Yeah,
I gotta get Dave. You and I, we gotta get on the road to a Wrestlemania.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So, boy,
I've seen a bunch of other
WrestleMania.
stuff.
I sat by myself, so
that's I would do it too.
I sat by myself, loved the show. I didn't care. I was at WrestleMania, guys. I didn't care.
Yeah,
my cousin sat like lower level. My best friend sat floor seats right. Shield came out from. I'm like, screw you. You were next to the Shield. So my cousin, screw you. You were lower than me. And I was like, I didn't care. I was at WrestleMania.
Yeah, my first WrestleMania was 29, and I remember walking in. No bullshit. I almost cried because I've been watching this shit my whole life, and here I was sitting here, and you said you went to 29, right? So the pre-show match was Miz and Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
For the Intercontinental title. So I'm at WrestleMania. And you hear this. You hear the loud sounds, and you got the screen on you. They had a countdown at one point, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't feel real yet. Like, you're in the building, and you're watching everything. It's like people, I think, sometimes underestimate the experience of being in the physical facility, like the way that the awnings are, just the way they decorate it. It wasn't until, awesome, I came to play, and everything's on, and the lights are on, the music's on, and you're like, oh, motherfucker, we here. This is Mania. And everyone gets special entrances and clothes. And he does the whole I was like, oh, this is real. Then when they start the actual show with the national anthem and the flag and the God Bless America and all that stuff, you feel it a little
Pyro.
bit. Oh, yeah, you feel it a little bit. And you get so hyped for WrestleMania. Like, the opening of that show was with the first song you heard was, well, it's the big show. And I was like, you know what? I hate that song, but it's Mania. It's Mania. I don't give a fuck about that song. Let's do it. And they did Sheamus, and I was like, all right, Sheamus. Okay. Randy came in. I was like, oh, okay, I like that song. That's a good song. But when that shit said Sierra Hotel, India Echo, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, I'm at WrestleMania. Did it. I was like, oh, shit. I grabbed my wife by the shoulder. I said, oh, no, I'm at fucking WrestleMania. She was like, yeah, I know, we're at WrestleMania. Okay, all right. My drink, time down. That was the first time.
That was a great experience.
The Punk Taker match. That was the first time that I ever saw my wife physically wowed with the entrance. When Taker's poof, with the fire and the boom.
With the hands reaching out
when
for him.
He came out, my wife just literally went, wow. She was like completely blown away. And I was blown away by the live entrance from Punk with Living Color in the house, which, by the way, we're hearing rumors now that people are actually trying to get Alter Bridge out of mothballs to do something for Edge next week. We will see if it's possible.
That would be awesome.
I don't know if anybody can tell from listening or seeing, because people are going to be seeing this, my energy level when I describe this shit. It's real to me, damn it. This is the only.
It's real to me.
This is the only time pro wrestling has, and Matt, you've experienced this yourself. Pro wrestling. I've been doing pro wrestling. I've been doing pro wrestling for 11 years, and it has beaten me to death. This is the one fucking day a year where I allow myself full on Mark status, where I just go, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna be a fucking. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna have fun.
I mean, like,
I give myself 2 times a year to get like that.
Like what, Dave?
Actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not overthink it.
Not overthink it. And you'll see when I put that video out, I still found myself kind of overthinking because I didn't want to show any of the footage on my camera because that's YouTube and all their restrictions. So a lot of the shots are me going over stuff that I'm seeing, and I regret it now. I looked at the video. I was like, you're being critical again, dude. Just fucking do it. Mm-hmm. But I was like,
that's the thing. When you do it, it's like
hard to not.
You can call everything you see, but on that day, on WrestleMania, and for me, it's WrestleMania and Royal Rumble. Those are the 2 days that I'm like, okay, I can completely like take all the professional and sit there and enjoy and watch. But I still find myself critiquing matches. I'm like, what are you doing? Why didn't you do this instead of that? It's just, it's a given, I think, in all of us that we do that.
Yeah.
But WrestleMania, God, like when Edge came back last year at Royal Rumble, I was in my cousin's house watching it, and I jumped out of my seat, and I was like, on this day,
Pombo,
like, oh my God, sit down. I'm like, no, it's Edge.
I was in the house with you.
Pombo was sitting on my couch when it happened.
Yeah.
Pombo was in my house. We both looked at it like, no fucking way. I thought they were. I actually thought it was like a rib, like it was a joke at first. It was like, what? Yeah, I was like, what? And he came out in full fucking gear, and then went, no fucking way.
Yeah, that was great.
Was when he came out of his eyes was wide open.
Yeah,
and tears
he was
down.
breathing it in.
Oh my God, I got emotional too. So
I got emotional watching it. I got more emotional watching the making of when they were doing the documentary about the day of, and how he was standing behind that curtain, like, oh my God, like this is really gonna happen right now. I'm about to. My song's gonna hit again, and I'm gonna go out there and take bumps and all this other shit. And Beth's crying. I was like, "Oh Jesus!"
I had my girl sit down and watch the 24/7 that they had of him. I think it was the documentary of him before leading up to Royal Rumble, and then after that, I had her sit down and watch it. And she like right after it, she looks at me and she goes, "What are you now?" She's 100% supportive of what I do. So it's like she watches it. She's like, grit. I like that. I like that he has grit. Where's your grit? Like messing with. She knows how much I love
God damn.
what I do. She knows that I'm so passionate about it. So she looks at me. She goes,
such a pussy,
I like Edge now. And then I bought the Young Bucks. She read those books before me, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, why did you read the Young Bucks book before me? She was like, what are you willing to sacrifice? I'm like,
yo,
am I supposed to say you?
Yeah,
I gotta read the book still.
Yeah,
I read the book, and I'm like, I see where you're going, and of course, I would sacrifice time to be able to do what I love, but know that we're gonna reap the benefits when it's done. So, but she watched the documentary, and she like fell so much more in love with Edge than anything. So,
I love when women ask that question.
No, that takes us back to that shit we were talking about the other day, how women that we with can get away with some foul shit. Like nobody else would be able to say some shit to you like that without getting slapped.
Because the answer is her.
We finished watching it and she looked at me like she gave me that serious look. She looked at me.
Where's your grit?
Yeah, where's it's next to the farina in the cabinet. I got grits right there. What are you talking about?
She looked at me like, where's your grit? And I'm like, you're gonna cut a promo on me now? What's going on here?
Like, where's your grit?
Like she literally cut a promo on me. I'm like,
that's funny.
Okay, I should have filmed this and like posted it up.
You should have told her, oh, you want me to be a WWE superstar? All right, I'm out. And you leave. Where you going? I'm going to the gym. Oh, where you going? I'm going to meal prep. Oh, I'm going to shows. I'm flying to Oklahoma tomorrow. Well, how you going to Oklahoma? I'm paying my own ticket. Why? Exposure. You want me to be a WWE superstar? Bye.
She told me, like, I told her I might be going to Tampa next weekend, and she's like, how? I'm like, I'm gonna fly out there. You got bookings? Maybe. I'm just gonna go. And she's like,
if I'm there, who knows?
All right, but I'm not gonna go because I decided not to like do that. But I got a booking in April already, so I'm happy about that. So
there you go.
I just got the booking like literally 2 hours ago.
The
so
grind is real, man.
Grind is real. I got asked twice.
Yeah, my first show of this year. So
I declined twice. I'm not going to Tampa. Fuck off. I don't mind going to Tampa for bookings.
I only would have won if Dave Jackson would have booked me for the Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal. I would have been there.
Oh, Jesus!
In a heartbeat.
Confidence. Now ask your girl, you want to see my grit? You want to see my grit?
I did. I told her, babe, I may get a booking in Tampa, and it's a Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal. She was like, who told you could be in a lingerie battle royal? I'm like,
lingerie.
It's like Gray Sweatpants. And she's like, Gray Sweatpants is lingerie. And she was like, you think you're going to find it to be able to fly out to Tampa with these things? Because I can hide them very quickly. I'm like,
these things?
I can go to Champs and buy some new ones. Like, come on.
Right?
There you go. Dave,
I do not want to be a part of a fucking Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal. Nah, I'm good.
Everything
the people who are in it are pretty good indie guys. So
I'm sure they are, but I'm not willing to find out.
Yeah. Who's calling spots in that match? All headlocks. No. All headlocks up here. Eye gouges. No go behind.
No.
Yeah, no head scissors. None of that shit. The first motherfucker.
No Bronco Busters.
Yeah, no. The first motherfucker to yell pedigree to me is getting smacked. Nope. You're not putting those in the back of my neck, bitch.
Reverse pedigree. No.
Watch how fast upper body chain wrestling hits the ceiling in that battle royal. That's it. We're doing wrist lock, hammer lock. Ooh, with the distance, social distance. See, I'm covering. There we go. Bam.
So far, it's I know so far it's Casey Navarro, JTG, PB Smooth,
Peanut Butter Smooth,
Daniel Garcia.
He's just naming names.
Lee Moriarty.
He's on the payroll. Look at him. He's putting it over. He is trying to get booked in Tampa. Look at him. Oh, it's a great show. Tell them where they go. Tell them the address. Where is this show?
You can buy tickets at
eventbrite.com.
Not last minute.
Manager, I can't make it work.
I don't think. I love Faye to death. She ain't watching this. Dave, let me start with you with this. Growing up, I obviously saw a lot of shit. You have some earlier memories of some of the earlier manias. What is your earliest Mania memory that you can remember that stands out to you?
That's kind of fun. I don't honestly. If I were to see them, it would spark my memory. But off the top of my head, the only Mania that I can really remember was the one when I was at your house with the whole grape soda debacle. But that's because
my god.
But that's because of the whole grape soda debacle. Like I can't tell you how these matches went. I don't remember them. I've seen quite a few of them with you, obviously.
Yeah, I've been watching them
for a good stint there. I want to say like 4 or 5 years, something like that. I was going to your house every year to watch them.
Yes.
So I have seen a lot of these. I cannot recall them without rewatching them.
I promise you, by the end of this, you're gonna have a clean memory of a lot.
I'm sure I have a lot of memories. But the cool thing about this is that we have an odd number of people, so I don't have to tie break.
No, you do not. But you do. I mean, you can feel free, of course, to chime in.
Absolutely, if I remember anything.
Right, as your memory, as we start to go down this list, and you start to see your memory do your thing.
Right.
I'm recording screen-wise, so I can't bring up my bracket. So, Dave, this is your show.
I got it.
We're gonna go once again for the audience out there. The bracket is not about WrestleManias. We're not.
It's about pissing AJ off. All right, so let's start.
The thing. We're doing main events. Main events. That's the big part of the discussion here. And to me, because people are going to say, well, what's your definition of a main event? The last match is the main event. Now, real quick.
Yep.
There have been 36 main events. It worked out to 32 because I removed 4 matches. There's 4 WrestleMania main events we will not be discussing. 3 of them were duplicates, meaning they've happened. This match has main evented the pay-per-view more than once.
Undertaker.
No, actually, they've never main evented. The Rock and John Cena, Bret Hart and Yokozuna. Third one is escaping me. And then there was one match that I took out because
Shawn Michaels,
Stone Cold and The Rock.
Yeah, Stone Cold and The Rock.
And then you have Bret Hart, Yokozuna, and Hogan versus Yokozuna.
No, but there's a third one that I took out that I'm having a problem.
Correct. Bret Hart, Yokozuna, Hogan, Yokozuna.
No.
Stone Cold versus The Rock, and The Rock versus John Cena.
Oh, right. Stone Cold versus The Rock, John Cena, and then, okay, yeah. So those 3 are out. So I chose the best of the 2, and that's the one that we have there. How did I decide the best? I just made the choice, my show. Just the better of the 2 matches. They're main events at WrestleMania, so they're obviously good matches. So I just picked my favorite of the 3 and moved on. I eliminated Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam for obvious reasons. I didn't feel it was fair I needed to cut a match, and I figured the celebrity match was the easiest one to cut. So everybody else, 32 matches, fair.
I agree.
That match would have been a bye for anybody it went up against. So it wouldn't have been fair. So 32 matches, we got down to that. We're going to discuss the main events. My brother now has the floor.
All right, so we're going to do this like it has developed. Matt, I don't think you've been here for one of these. Joe, you have been. So we're going to go down the bracket. The most explanation is going to be done in the beginning because I feel like we go over each match. And as we go in, we'll just start making picks until we get to the end. So the bulk of this is going to be in the very beginning when we first talk about the matches. It's going to be It's going to be everybody picks, and whoever is whatever match is in favor will move on to the next bracket. So more than likely, AJ is going to get pissed off at some point. We are 2-0 on making sure he's absolutely tilted to the next day when we do this. So Joe,
it's worked out well so far for you.
I'm counting on you to make it happen again because you did it the first time.
Pombo is gifted at pissing me off. Let's go.
You did it the first time. What, James did it the second time?
Yeah, James did it the second. No. Reverse. I think it was
me.
I think it was Steve and then him because Steve fucked me up the first match we talked about, Hogan and Taker.
Started out with the
match
bang
that we talked about.
That's where the fun comes in. Yeah. Obviously, your favorite WrestleMania may not hit the very end, and I also started to become very interested because I know sometimes you do the bracket yourself, AJ, kind of like looking through it, and you have your idea of what's at the end. So you didn't do it this time?
None of them. I made the brackets and I left them alone. I haven't. I have not selected anything until we get into it.
Cool. No, that's not true because you'll say, okay, I did the bracket. I knew these were going to be at the end.
Oh, the Taker one.
But we would do a different path.
The Taker one. The Taker one was the one that I did do ahead of time. That was just because I was bullshitting around. Doing that bracket is what gave me the inspiration to do it on the air. The Rumble one, I didn't do it. I didn't do it for this one either. I'm going by the seat of my pants. I'm just gonna.
All right, so everybody will.
I'll go with my heart and my gut.
I'll do a tiebreaker in rotation, and we'll just go through the matches and start talking about some WrestleMania. All right, get in the spirit here. All right, so we're gonna start.
All right, let's go.
We're gonna start with WrestleMania 13 versus WrestleMania 19.
Ooh.
And because you're not necessarily new here, but this is your first time doing one of these brackets, Matt, we're going to start with you, man. What do you think?
Okay.
Which is your pick?
Let me get my little cheat sheet.
All right. And we got the Undertaker. I'll read it. The Undertaker versus Psycho Sid, which was 13, versus Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 19.
Oh man!
I wish there
was almost going to be a suicide that match because Brock almost killed himself with that shooting star.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's always
because I'm like, ooh.
As great as that match was, it's always
highlight that comes into everybody that match.
Yeah, it's always that.
That's a highlight. Like it was great wrestling straight through. Like I enjoyed the wrestling portion of it until he almost killed himself, and I'm like, this is like going to be the most memorable moment of all WrestleManias to come. When it comes to Brock Lesnar being highlighted for anyone, it's going to be like Brock Lesnar almost died in WrestleMania 19. So I want to say, as a kid watching Undertaker, every single time he came out, it always caught my attention. Him and Sid, because Sid Vicious is, I'm going to call him Sid Vicious, because you know Sid Vicious was a beast. He was scary also to look at. But I don't know. Honestly, between those two, I want to go with Brock almost dying. I'm gonna go with Brock.
I'm gonna go with the attempted suicide. Let's go.
Lesnar almost dying. Brock versus the Ring that night. That's what it should have been. Because, he hates the Ring.
All right, Joe.
But Brock and Angle. I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with him. Brock and Angle was a magical moment for me because that was the first time I saw Brock doing an aerial assault. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You're like a giant gorilla, albino gorilla going on the turnbuckle. Stop doing that because I wouldn't do it. You shouldn't be doing it. And then he did it. And I was like, oh, no.
I think that one I do remember. When you guys brought that up, I was like, okay, I do remember seeing that.
It was in every package for like 5 years.
That behemoth of a man going into the air for no reason.
Like, no, don't do it.
He's like, Brock, do flip and land on head. Let's do this. That's what happened.
Although it has been decided, it has been written. What is your thoughts, AJ?
It's a clean sweep. I'm going 19 as well.
Damn.
I reacted to the shooting star different from everybody else because that's the first time he ever botched it. Every other time he nailed it perfectly in OVW, which was why he saved it. Obviously, when he went to the main roster, they were like, "Yeah, no more of those. Save that for the big shows."
Yeah,
and it was supposed to be like a big spectacular move.
Yeah,
he was supposed
that was leading to the finish anyway. So, as great as that,
it was so spectacular.
Yeah, that was gonna be his WrestleMania moment, and boy, was he right. It ended up being his WrestleMania moment. But yeah, clean sweep. Brock Lesnar Kurt Angle. Nothing against Sid and Taker, but I always it's hard to take my brain away from just the spectacle of things because that's not the original WrestleMania 13 main event. It was supposed to be Michaels and Hart in a rematch until Shawn lost his smile, and then we ended up getting Brett and Austin. And this is why I want to remind people that we're doing main events, and which again to me is the last match. When you think WrestleMania 13, you think Brett and Austin. That's the match that you think of, but that's not the match that went last. It was Taker and Sid. So for that, I'm going to give it to 19. 19 is the better main event to me.
There you go.
I'll say the same thing. You got the Crimson Face Austin, which is like a highlight of that WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that was not the main event. So,
all right, there you go.
I agree.
That put Austin above everybody else in one WWE man.
Yep, the most infamous double turn in history. Go ahead.
Very memorable moment. All right, so this next one here, we got WrestleMania 32, Roman Reigns versus Triple H against WrestleMania 6, which is Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh God,
Joe, what do you got?
Oh, I'm going Hogan Warrior with that one. The club fest of this century, man.
Can I just assume that match lasted but like 5 minutes?
No, that was a long match. Well, it's
really like 11, 12 minutes.
Was it long for an Ultimate Warrior match? I guess
it was because
they long for a match period. Like
it was a long Warrior match because they started off as a Hogan match. It ended as a Warrior match. So it started off with Hogan and the whole the powers and the mega and the strength and
it's
the take their time
object and then the unstoppable force.
Yeah, and then when it was time to flip the switch and get the energy up, that's when Warrior took over, and that's it.
You got anything else, Joe?
Would you say again?
I say you got anything else because AJ kind of stole your light there.
I'm used to it.
Joe, everyone's used to it.
Hold the shine.
Well, for me, that was I was a huge Hogan fan at that time, and for me to see Hogan lose to what I assumed is the Intercontinental Champion being the second tier, a bum, I was highly pissed.
Damn.
Yeah, I was not a Warrior fan at all until he was old. That's when I liked the Ultimate Warrior. I'm different from my body, different. So I was a big Hogan fan for my entire life.
Different.
Yeah. My body different. So for Hulk Hogan to lose, I was like, no! And as a little kid, I was very young at the time.
He was in your feelings hard.
And I just remember my uncle going, I told you the Warrior would win. The Ultimate Warrior. He just
you shit, I told you.
I told you would win. And it was, it's not funny, man. It's serious business.
Go get me your Hogan buddy. I'm gonna fuck it.
That's funny.
Let it. My grandmother in the corner going.
She's
like hours.
This cat going. What do you got?
Broken.
Yes. Tears.
I'm gonna go with that 24-57, the 51-second match of Hogan and Warrior. I just looked up the time. That's how I knew.
Okay.
It was for the Intercontinental title. Right? You gotta say, wow, he's very good. Nah, I looked up the time because you said it went long, and I remember that match going long. Like the match before was only 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yeah.
So for the main event, 24 minutes and 51 seconds was good. I was a Hogan fan, but I used to run through my house thing. I was the old Warrior on the side, little underwear on. So it was a club fest. It was a club mania, and I'm gonna go with that one.
Today.
It was good.
All right, AJ, your input.
I don't run around my underwear no more. Luckily.
It's already been won. So what's your input? What do you got?
Another clean sweep. Nothing against Roman Reigns.
Damn.
Nothing against Roman Reigns and Triple H, but again, not the main event we were supposed to have. Injury after injury, situation after situation, and then Triple H went with the old school Booker idea. Fuck it, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. And we wound up, well, someone has to job to Roman. I guess it'll be me. And that's how we got there. The entrances were dope. I'll never forget Stephanie McMahon sitting up there giving the promo of her fucking lifetime. And, of course, it being the biggest building gate WrestleMania's ever had. But Hogan and Warrior kind of set the standard for that decade. That was the immovable object meeting the unstoppable force. That was that was the only match they could do to follow the Andre thing. Everything after that was just kind of for Hogan. That was the last great grasp of high media attention and high buy rate, and this is going to be the classic confrontation. So I'll go along with the sheep for now, and that'll be it. That'll be that.
This dual Earls. Is this when we found out Earl had a twin brother? Is
that was 4.
That was 4. Okay.
We'll get to that.
WrestleMania 4.
Which is coming. All right. So the next one we got here is going to be WrestleMania 25, which is Triple H versus Randy Orton versus WrestleMania 2, which is Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy. Matt, what do you got?
Ooh, I was too young for the King Kong Bundy one. I was just around the corner for the Randy Orton one.
He was a sperm cell when Bundy got in that cage.
That was the same WrestleMania that was simulcast in 2 different areas.
3 different areas.
One in Atlantic City and the other one was in
Nassau Coliseum.
3 different areas. Yeah.
Nassau
Atlantic
Coliseum,
City,
Chicago, and L.A.
Nassau Coliseum, Chicago. Oh, L.A. That's right. Nassau Coliseum. That's right.
That's where the cage match was. It was in L.A.
Yes. You guys are like in the spot right now, but it's a group effort to picking on who's going to go into the next round. So I'm just gonna go with Orton and Triple H. Reason being is that
for going with what you know.
No, I exactly. I know that one a lot more than I know the whole King Kong Bundy one.
For sure, Joe. What do you got?
I've seen it, but the one I've seen more was that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Bundy and Hogan because I loved Bundy because he was in a movie called Moves with Richard Pryor, and that was my second run into Bundy. My third run into Bundy was actually at a Walgreens, which used to be called Arc Drugs at the time, because he was buying something there, and I was like, "Hey, you're the guy from the TV." Bundy's always high on my priority list. I also ran into Superfly Jimmy Snuka at the same place. I'll get into that another time, but I love the build up. This Bundy is unstoppable, and he's so badass that he doesn't need a 3 count. He's getting a 5 count. 5, count to 5, because the guy was so toast once he fought Bundy that you can count to 1,000,000. He's done. So I like that build up. And it was like, oh man, this guy might actually beat Hulk Hogan. Oh boy. And Hogan won. So,
oh boy. Getting excited.
Our first tiebreaker.
Yay.
What do you got for us?
Well, I know next week we're talking WrestleMania 37, and next week we'll be able to talk about Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman inside of a cage. The reason why I bring it up now is because we haven't had a cage match at WrestleMania since Hogan and Bundy. We're talking about right now. They never did it. Besides the cell match, an actual physical, just plain Jane cage match, we haven't had one. This is the only one that
there's a difference between cell and cage.
Yeah, way big difference.
Huge difference.
And we haven't had one. So on that note, I would like to give Hogan and Bundy their due for being the cage match and being the main event of one of the wonkiest fucking WrestleManias of all time. And a simulcast plan that would have worked during the pandemic had they tried it. But yes, I'm actually going to give my vote to WrestleMania 25, Triple H and Randy Orton, the 25th anniversary. They had to climb the highest mountain of all time, because mere minutes before that was the single greatest WrestleMania match of all time, and Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker.
Yes.
And these fuckers are behind the camera going, "Oh, motherfucker. Are we really gonna have to? Should we even bother? Like, what the fuck? Can we do it tomorrow? Because these people have a nap first, and then what do you want to do?" And
he's like, "Triple H, can you do a shooting?
Yeah, can you do a shooting star? Fuck it, we're gonna fight all over the building." I don't know what the plan was. I know that if I was in the back, I'm not looking at the camera. I was like, "Oh fuck." But yeah, I mean, they had a really good match. Just no one remembers it because Shawn Taker. But if you look at the match for what it is, with the build-up that they had, and the fact that it continued after that and got even hotter, I give it to Triple H and Randy Orton.
There you go. Really
if
quick.
I was thinking, that was the passing of the torch match.
was supposed to be, but when does Triple H ever not take that torch back? So,
you're right. Really quick, one word answer, no explanation. Which match do you prefer? What do you prefer? Cell or cage? Joe.
Cage.
Matt.
We'll go old school cage.
AJ.
Cell.
We're moving on. All right, so WrestleMania 35. Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair against WrestleMania 21 Triple H versus Batista. We're going to go with AJ first on this one.
Fuck off. I hated this matchup. And again, it was random. I hated this matchup because I wanted the girls to go so far. But WrestleMania 21 was the birth of Batista, and the money, the buy rate, just everything that helped move the business along past the Austin era started with that group of OVW guys: Batista, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Shelton Benjamin. That group was supposed to be the crowning of the new generation, and while John won the title that night as well, and the both of them would go on to be bulls for this company for a number of years, Batista was the main event. So I gotta tip my cap to Batista. The girls did an amazing job, and it's the first one ever. So while Batista and John being at the top of that pay-per-view and leading the company, I mean, if you think about it, the girls open the door for generations of women forever with that one win. We're talking about the possibility of another women's main event next weekend, if possible, because of a match like that. So it was really hard, but I'm sorry, I got to go with the bigger business. In this case, I got to go 21. I hate this matchup. I think the girls should have went farther than the first round. It's just a case of just bad matchup. There's a lot of shitty Mania matches that they could have won against, they would have won, but this was just bad. This was random, so it's kind of fucked up. But I'm going 21.
21. All right, Joe, what do you got?
Going with Becky, man.
The man.
Yeah, because that was a bonding between my wife and I, because she got back into wrestling. She was a big Rock fan, and when Rock
your picks are too emotional. What's the best match? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, this match didn't have Finn Balor in it. Why does she care about what's going on?
Oh, you know my wife pretty well.
That's funny.
No, but she was. I mean, she even bought the WrestleMania shirt, the man, at that time. She was really big into. That's her second favorite wrestler after Finn Balor. Thanks for reminding me about that. Right.
But yeah, stay away from carbs, you fuck.
Yeah, carbs in my But I mean, besides the dope entrance of her and the homage to Charlotte Flair coming in from a helicopter, just like her pops did many generations ago, it was just a lot of prestige with this match. Having the MMA transition for Ronda Rousey, and Ronda plucking the historical best friend of Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and her whole get-up, and seeing Joan Jett live was a special plus, because I'm actually a fan of that band. And if you guys are familiar with tobeseen.com, you know I have a music podcast called This Dungeon.
We were gonna plug. It's okay.
Mr. Plug himself. Hey, let's just be grateful it was like 2 words, not a fucking paragraph.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. Anyway, it's a This Dungeon. Go download it now.
Download it now.
But
all right. I'm editing the fuck out of that part. Just you wait. You're wasting your time, buddy. This shit ain't live.
Oh, my bad. This Dungeon. That's all. So,
just for your sheer resilience, I'll leave it in, dude.
I'm gonna start this in a second.
Anyway, there was just so much greatness going into that, and then Becky just coming in by herself, boss bitch, and taking the whole thing home. It's just a great moment and a great way to end the show. And a lot of the heat that was going on, because I think in the beginning Brock's match was first, and they made it seem like Brock was pissed, so he just wanted to get in and get out because of it. And then Seth ended up winning. Really made it a squash match and a very amazing end of the night main event for the girls, and I loved it. So
right,
unforgettable moments are at WrestleMania, my friends.
Yeah. So, all right, we got a tiebreaker. This is your first one, man. Make it a good one. What do you got?
Oh man, a good triple threat women's match, or you know what?
And the first women main event of WrestleMania.
All right, don't make yourself. Don't make yourself.
100%
some stuff
true.
on it.
Oh man,
I'm gonna go over WrestleMania 21.
21.
And there's a reason why.
Explain yourself.
Exactly what AJ said. It's exactly what AJ said. It was basically after that, it was everything Batista, Cena after that moment. And that's what the company needed. The company needed some new fresh faces to push forward into now. We have our Drew McIntyres. We have, we have younger stars killing it now. And it's because of Batista. It's because of Cena. And this match basically proved that. And of course, we needed Triple H to move on somewhere. So it's that match.
He never stopped. He kept coming back. It was like, oh, okay, it's over. And then they had Triple H, Batista again on that card. So that's why I cut it off immediately. Nah, it was overdone.
Nah, I go with
oh shit,
that one,
yeah.
The last one they did was like, man.
on that card.
Yeah, it's like why am I gonna go with a repeat? And we're good.
All right, good enough. Let's keep it moving here. We got WrestleMania 26, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker versus WrestleMania 22, John Cena versus Triple H. Matt, what do you got?
All right, John Cena, Triple H, John Cena, Shawn Michaels. That's what you just said.
Undertaker, Shawn, and then
right, John Cena, Triple H, right. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, 26.
You guys,
oh man, those are two great matches.
You pissed Pomo off. He left now.
He's over it.
It was
putting stuff in the background. He's knocking shit.
They were good match. You know what? I'm gonna take Cena on this one.
Oof.
I mean, I'm not Cena. I'm gonna take her on this one.
Okay.
Taker match.
Why so?
That's it. Taker match.
Why so?
Because honestly, of all the matches that I've enjoyed of WrestleMania is like main event matches, and right now I just had to like cancel out Taker before.
Right.
I'm throwing him into this one. Besides WrestleMania 24, I'm gonna go with this one with Undertaker. I'm just taking it. That's enough. I want Taker in this one.
That's right. Taker's gonna
see.
win.
All right, AJ.
No explanation.
Shaking
That's
your
it.
hands. What do you got over there?
Was that me?
Yes, you. You're the only AJ in the room.
Little me. So, John Cena Triple H at 22 is automatically disqualified. I have to go Shawn Michaels and Taker. It is not anything that Cena and Triple H did. It's just too many combinations. This was Shawn's retirement match. All right, this was the follow-up to, like I just said a second ago, one of my favorite or one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. This one was actually in the main event. No championship. It was career versus streak on this one. That alone would win it. But John Cena Triple H was the main event for a pay-per-view that had the worst fucking WrestleMania theme song of all fucking time. If I had big time,
you're right.
I don't remember that.
Fuck!
Hey, oh my god!
Fuck Peter Gray.
That's why I don't remember it.
To the fucking moon. I fucking hated that song. I hated it so much. Big time, and then they had the package at the end where it's like it gives you this rundown of how WrestleMania went. To the most garbage WrestleMania theme song of all time. I'm sorry. That's a penalty in my book. I'm sorry, John. You got to go. It's Taker Michaels.
That's why I had no explanation for it. It's just Taker Michaels. That's the only reason why.
That theme song was a technical foul. I don't want to hear it anymore. That's it.
What do you got, Joe?
Oh, yeah. Sweep.
Got it.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna
for all the same reasons, or was there anything you wanted to add?
All the same reasons.
I got you. I can respect that.
It was a great match too. So,
all right. So then we'll just move on. We got WrestleMania 17, which is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. This was one of the dupes that you were talking about, but he called that this was the better match, so that's why he put this one in here. And then WrestleMania 7, which is Hulk Hogan. Why am I seeing a theme here? 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. Hulk Hogan. All right. WrestleMania 7, Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh.
So this is what's number. Okay. AJ, what do you got?
Well, that's the reason why Hogan saying the N-word was so difficult for WWE. You know how much history they'd have to erase to fucking get rid of Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
They can't do it.
Hello, Peacock.
Yeah.
We'll slow down on him, but we're not completely deleting him.
Yeah. He could go away for a while, but and when they announced him as host, the whole everyone went nuts. So I mean, what are you gonna do?
But he has Titus on the
Stone
other
Cold
end.
Steve Austin has beaten 2 of his wives, and he's still idolized. So who fucking knows, right? It's whatever. It's select and whatever the situation. He's like, yo, he beat his wife like twice. Word, but did you see what he done McMahon in Madison Square Garden? That shit was hot. All that time when he shoved Mike. Yeah, he shoved Deborah. Yeah,
but did he say the N-word?
Yeah, you remember when he shoved Mike Tyson? No, that was hot.
Yard.
That was hot. It's pick and choose, so it's that's why whenever people do bad shit on the internet, like wrestlers, and do bad shit, and then everyone gets on them for like a day. You know, you're a piece of shit. And like, all right, and they just don't say nothing for like 3 days, and then by the end of the week, yo, where can I buy your shirt, B? Okay, all right, cool. So you didn't have a problem with it at the end of it. So I digress. That's a rant for another day. But we got Hogan, Slaughter, and who was the other one again?
Stone Cold and The Rock.
Stone Cold and The Rock. Well, that's an easy one for me, obviously. The main event to my favorite WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 17. Top to bottom, one of my favorite cards of all time. That was one of the best matches, if not the best match. Didn't like the finish. Neither did Steve. But what are you going to do? That's what it was. Hogan, Slaughter. That's that in-between stage. That was the one that followed Warrior, which we just said a second ago was like one of his last big main event money attraction matches. Everything after 6, I mean, 7 did a good thing, did good numbers, but they had to turn one of their biggest baby faces heel just to get to that. They had to sacrifice the Slaughter character just to feed it to the Hulkamania machine because it was on fucking life support. We followed that with him refusing to fight Flair at 8, so he got stuck with Sid Vicious on that card, and then the fucking over of Bret Hart in 9, and off to WCW he went. So that's why I said Warrior was so important. This was the beginning of that downslide of Hulkamania, the decline that he pushed for 3 more years. He milked 3 more years out of that shit. And this was the decline of that. So, no, this is 17 and it's easy.
All right. Good enough, man. What do you got?
I got 17 because he's my lucky number. And it's 2 of my favorite wrestlers of all times going face to face. The Rock overselling the Stunner, which is always amazing to watch.
Yeah.
That's
Classic.
the same. If I'm trying to remember who else was on that card that night.
Oh, brother. One of the things that made them so magical.
Oh, brother, let me go down the line here. We get the.
There was so much on that. I'm trying to remember.
Taker 1.
That was like a highlight.
Triple H Taker 1, TLC 2, Guerrero Test for the European title, RVD Regal, Right to Censor against Taz and the APA for whatever fucking reason. There was a laundry list. It was like, weird mix. China Ivory was on that card. There was a lot of shit.
China. That was when China came out and she shot the the bazooka.
Don't treat me like a woman.
So really quick, I got an idea, AJ, and because I was gonna wait till later, but when we do this, sometimes we get good things like the women's thing and stuff like that, and the Black History Month. What do you think? And you don't have to answer this right now, but really quick, what do you think about? You said WrestleMania 17 is your favorite. How about we do a quick overview of that on the next show before we get into the new stuff? Or whatever you deem the best or your favorite one, and we could do a quick talk about that Mania.
That's an idea.
Yeah, so 17 because I remember you guys talking about that before about 17 being so freaking good. I kind of want to go back and watch it.
It's a long one.
17 is great.
17.
It's a long one, but it's great.
Top
Kane versus
bottom.
Raven in the Big Show.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So I'm
Kane,
gonna go back
Big Show,
and watch
Raven,
it.
triple threat match for the hardcore title. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and
the
watch
triple
it.
threat match.
I know you guys probably don't have to, but if you want to freshen up, and we can just do like a comb over.
I just fucked up. I just caught myself. RVD and Regal was 18. 17 was Regal. Regal and Jericho at a Queensberry Rules match. What the fuck? To this day, I have no clue. It's 20 years to the day. I don't know what the fuck it is.
That was the whole P and the T.
Yeah, he
Wasn't
pissed
that
at his tea. He pissed at his tea. Yeah. And Regal made that piss in my tea face.
I remember. Oh my god, Jericho fanatic man. Oh my
god, that was the gimmick battle royal. That was the last time we saw
gimmick battle royal. Jim Cornette in action. Kicking him and Bruce Pritchard fighting each other in the corner. Dope shit.
I sidebarred us, so I apologize. Joe, what are your thoughts on 7 and 17?
17, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Again, nothing to add.
And then
I feel bad for Slaughter.
I got my country back thing with Slaughter. I just totally ruined him.
That's what I feel so bad about. It's his only main event, and they had
to.
It sounds
like obviously Slaughter would have had a run because he's in the main event of WrestleMania, right? So he had to have had some type of run going.
He beat the Ultimate Warrior. It was a big deal.
Based on what you guys are saying, they fed him to Hogan to bump him up.
Right.
And then now it sounds like they're trying to revive him, and it was just kind of hard to do. And then Hogan just dipped eventually anyway.
Yeah. Hogan politicked himself into a corner. That's what ended up happening.
He was like, I'm leaving, brother.
Yeah, well, no, not even. Hogan and Warrior had the match in 6. And then Warrior had his little run. And then he lost it, and then he
lost it at Rumble.
Lost it at the Rumble to Slaughter, they had turned heel just before that. Now Slaughter had not been champion as the babyface, even though he was arguably one of the biggest babyfaces for years up until that point. Yeah. Never gave him a run because Hogan was the babyface. So they turned him into a defector, and they built him for I think that Mania was in April, so they took 3 months with him as the champion.
Yeah.
And they just built it heel. So much heat, in fact, that they changed venues. They couldn't do the LA Coliseum because he had so much heat. There was terrorist threats and all kinds of shit happening.
Damn.
They ended up doing that at another facility.
Americans.
And then he ended up. But again, the whole point of
Americans
that run
are crazy.
was to hopefully throw some more coal on the Hulkamania train.
Right.
And it did not work. I don't think it worked. They did great money, and they made box office at that time, but they lost one of their biggest baby faces immediately after that. He couldn't recoup. He was never the same after that run.
You hate to see
They're shitting my burger, brother.
Rode his motorcycle to WCW.
You maggots. You scum.
Moving on here. We got
Actually, David, you were with me with one of Sergeant Slaughter's last hurrahs, the boot camp match in Your House DX in Springfield.
Wow.
That was where we went with Wayne, and we saw the truck for the first time, and Stone Cold beat the shit out of the nation with one truck. Just throughout the course of a night. Didn't even win. I think he won the match, but didn't win the title or some shit. He just beat the fuck out of the nation with a truck.
I want to go to an event so bad, man. All right, WrestleMania 36. Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar versus WrestleMania 20. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the man Chris Benoit that people don't like to talk about.
Okay, I'm going first on this one. I'm going first.
Good enough.
I'm pulling my executive card. I'm going first. Okay,
all right. This
is a conversation between me and the people now. As I said at the start of the show, WrestleMania 36 did not happen last year. I've got my fingers in my ear. I'm doing it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It did not happen. I did last year what Matt is suggesting he may do this year. I did not watch Saturday's event on Saturday. I timed it so that I could watch. I watched the first event, and as it ended, I seamed into the second one. Right? I wanted one day of wrestling, so I just jam-packed it. Okay? Nobody in the building. There are no witnesses. It never happened. Okay? Folks, look at me in the eye. Never happened. But one good thing did come out of last year's WrestleMania, and that's why I included it. And that's Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre made me look silly because despite all of my best attempts, despite my best attempts with my wife, nobody got fucked more this past year than Drew McIntyre did, okay? He was put in every bad position you can possibly be put in, and he rose to the fucking challenge. he was amazing this year. He's definitely, if not he's in the conversation of MVP for the year. So I'm not going to pull his one WrestleMania moment away from him, although he may have another one just 1 week from when this airs on Saturday. He may have another WrestleMania moment. We'll see. But I'm not going to pull his one WrestleMania moment from him. Now, it was 36 against who?
20. Oh, I'm sorry, 36 versus 20.
20, okay. Having said that, I wanted to give him respect for his main event moment, and including him in this, he's out in the first round because Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Stevie Richards had a hell of a fucking match in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, we can't say that name. It was
I got you. I caught up to you real quick. My brain took a second to register it. No, keep it going. No, this never happened.
Stevie did it. It was Stevie Richards and Shawn Michaels and Triple H had a barn burner in the halls of Madison Square Garden. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that's the last Garden main event they've had at WrestleMania. The one WrestleMania nearest to me I did not attend on account of low funds and high bud count. I'm
actually kind of surprised by that because you're on record talking very highly of 36's main event.
Yes, I do. I did like the Lesnar Drew McIntyre. Remember, I stated that Royal Rumble was the greatest Rumble I had ever seen. That was one of the top picks that we made when we did the brackets last time.
Right.
They built a superstar in that match, and it proved that it moved him from the Rumble to Mania, where he had the match with Brock, and they set off. He was off on a rocket. It worked out fucking fantastic.
Right.
But goddamn, as a pure wrestling fan like myself, I had been waiting for a long time to see Chris Benoit in a high-profile situation. Richards, sorry. They're very similar names. Don't
worry. On the edit, when he says it, we'll just go, Richards.
Yeah, just randomly, right? With this monotone.
Some random person's voice going, Richards.
Oh, maybe I could find an audio of Keith David saying it or something like that, like someone famous, like Morgan Freeman saying Richards. On fucking YouTube. But we took a ride on that pay-per-view with both him and Guerrero. Both of them arrived in the same night. Yes, after years and years and years and years, there it is, represent. Years and years and years and years, and I mean a long time, wrestling fans waited for these guys to get on top. And for Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels to be the people that they end up beating on the big stage was a huge night. And that emotional moment at the end with the confetti and the hug and the families being ringside. I mean, the fans took the journey that night. They were for one night. All of us were a part of the Richards Guerrero family for just one night. All of us at the Garden, the New York fans in particular too, and that's why, again, in a situation of bad matchup, because I just think this one is far superior.
Right. You got anything to add to that, Matt? What's your pick?
Guerrero.
I'm just gonna say this with this over my face.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a ride. It was a journey to the very end, to the confetti, when Eddie Guerrero embraced that invisible person that won the match.
No, Stevie Richards
against.
Did you see the picture of somebody photoshopping
Stevie Richards?
Photoshopping Benoit out, and it's just like Eddie hugging nothing. It's hilarious. Shit is hilarious.
So, that was just, mind you, he was. And still, by far, I still watch the work because I'll never take away the man's matches. Just won't say his name. But he had hell of matches to watch. And my background has basically changed watching this man work against Two Cold Scorpio. Him facing Chris Jericho back in Japan. Two Cold Scorpio at Super Brawl 93. To then him being on the stage of WrestleMania facing off against Triple H and Shawn Michaels, two people. Well, Shawn Michaels I always idolized since day one, and doing what he did, and then to the very end when Guerrero comes out, these guys are journeymen, and like, hey, we're in the middle of the sports mecca, embracing each other because we just won tonight. We're the winners. It was just a great show. So last year's pay-per-view, I'm not gonna say WrestleMania pay-per-view. It was, Drew McIntyre, we knew he was the chosen one since day one, but he got shitted on. And finally he got his due. but I'm going with 20.
Yeah.
I'm going with 20 because I went to all of the fanfare stuff for 20 because, again, like AJ said, funds were super low, could not go to WrestleMania.
Respect that. What do you got, Joe?
You know what's funny? It's a reoccurring theme of low funds on that WrestleMania because that's when I had biggest struggles.
2004, baby, was a rough year, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Cut school to go to the old.
I was spending my money on all
I cut
long
school
things
for that,
in 2004.
I was on the streets eating porks and beans in that time. That's how bad it was for me. But yeah, that was just a culmination of amazing once it got to the end. That WrestleMania just stands out. It's just so hard to compare. So without a doubt. You appreciate your times when you're broke. And
Steve Richards killed it.
Happening around it. So
I'm so glad we all shared this story. I'm going to be clipping this for something in the future. You'll see. This is a beautiful moment.
All right, next one. Moving on. WrestleMania 31. Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns versus WrestleMania.
Like that one.
Hulk Hogan versus Sid Justice, or however you guys were saying it earlier. You weren't saying
at the time it was Sid Justice. I wrote it.
Okay.
It was Sid Justice at that time.
Okay. All right. Matt, what do you got?
You were doing the fart noise, so I'm gonna go with the fart noise. That WrestleMania alone was the match with Randy and Seth was great. I enjoyed it. Especially that RKO that nobody will ever forget. And as Randy said in the Broken Skull,
yes,
in the Broken Skull interview, that he doesn't come up with any of these RKOs out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The person he's doing it to comes up with them. So I was already thinking in my mind, I'm like, Seth was thinking of, you know what? I'm gonna go back to Tyler Black days, and you're gonna fling me up, and I'm gonna take the hell out of this RKO.
Mm-hmm.
To then come in out of nowhere, since he was Mr. Money in the Bank, and steal it at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
To do the title swing, something we haven't seen since Warrior. At the very end.
Yep.
To say, guess what time it is now? It is Tyler Black time, a.k.a. Seth Rollins time.
Yep.
Time to give my due. That's what it was. And to me, that was when was like, you know what? That shitty Sting and Triple H match, I forgot completely about it the moment he came in and cashed it. Because that match was kind of shitty.
Shitting on the legends. No,
wait, which
all
one
over them. Nah.
Which one did you pick again?
He picked.
You kind of cut off a little
31.
bit. 31. Okay, my apologies. All right.
Yes.
AJ, what do you got?
Well, I just want to state for the record, I wrote down in the notes Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar because that's the official final entry in the history book. But that match was actually Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Yep. and that was the first time, and I think the only time thus far, double checking in my head, that a WrestleMania main event has changed in the course of that main event. Where it was promoted, it was booked. 9 like that too? Well, no, but see, that main event match had come to a completion. Hogan wasn't added to the match. The actual match type had not changed mid-match. Gotcha. Because I was also, when you think about it, Money in the Banks at that time were cashed in also at the completion of matches. That was the first time the briefcase had been cashed in to make that competitor a part of the match. Yeah. So that all that history, that's all history. That's
and it was when both competitors were down.
Yeah, and they still managed to fight back, which was hilarious. They still made it a match, but they had been in a match for so long, killing each other and hitting each other with bombs, that it was easy pickings. You mentioned the belt swing, which was amazing because I remember the first time he did it in Ring of Honor. When he won the Ring of Honor world title, he did that swing, and that was my first time seeing it, and I had to have somebody explain to me what the fuck that was about. And it was a tribute to the whole Warrior deal and all that stuff. So when he wins it here, I guess he kept it in mind because when he wins it here, he does it again. And I had the benefit of seeing him do it live because he did it at 35 when he won the Universal title, which was his first time winning that. So if you want to consider your title a world title, Seth Rollins has to swing it around his head.
Swing it around your head.
That's what makes it official.
Did I ever win a title? I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I have to. I have to give it to 31 here, only because I can't allow the tomfoolery that took place WrestleMania 8 to go past the first round. Fuck everybody that was involved in that situation. All fucking four of you, and I don't know who did what specifically because I was not in the room, but Sid, Hogan, Flair, and Savage had their own little conversations. Shit went down, and Lord and behold, we've got 2 main events. And I'm going to assume Hogan won on top because his main event was not even a world title match, but he was last. So I guess Hogan wins the war there because when you think WrestleMania 8, if you even remember WrestleMania 8, because it is, I just rattled off WrestleMania 17 to you. I can't name one fucking match. I can name 2, the ones we're talking about here. That's about it. Flair and Savage should have been the main event of that pay-per-view for the simple fact that Flair should have been the main event of that pay-per-view, bar none, no questions asked. He was the WWF champion at the time, the best competitor they had, including Hogan. But like we were just saying, now we're following the bouncing ball. 4, 5, 6. He politicked his way into a fucking corner. By the time he got to 9, he had no resources left, and we'll get to 9 in a little bit. But I don't, politic-wise, I can't reward them for shit. So, no, you go away. Luckily, Sid recovered and eventually had that great main event with Taker at 13 and had a nice run at 97 as the world champion. He deserves it. But, so 31 for sure. It was historic, 31.
All right, Joe, everybody wants to be friends and no one wants to give you a tiebreaker. So what do you think? What's your input on these?
It's a very friendly bracket thus far.
Yeah, this has been nice. I mean,
it's been nice. No one's cussed me out.
This is nice. This is nice.
We're all friendly, hugging.
Nobody told me I have to curse anybody else tonight. Okay, cool.
No, we don't want to tell you.
You're not told that. It just happens naturally.
Yeah, don't be afraid, dude, if the situation arises. That's it. You don't have to look for your spot. Just wait till. Well, trust me, we're still in the first round. Once these,
when it gets later
these
on.
picks start getting closer in, I mean, I'm gonna start booting people out of the room. So go ahead.
I'll wait till you get to the other side of the bracket.
I have got no quarrel with any of that selection. I totally agree because the main event for 8 was Flair and Macho Man, and I even as a kid, as big a Hogan fan as I was like, wow, that Flair Macho Man was a lot better match than that. Stomp fest of a match for Hogan and Sid. So, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Good enough. We move to the other side of the bracket. I know this feels kind of long, guys, but don't worry. The inner portion of these brackets literally turns into a speed run. So that's why we get all of our information out on the first so we can just pick on the last. So we're now on the right side of the bracket here. We got WrestleMania 10, Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. Versus WrestleMania 12, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, a Bret versus Bret match or lineup here. AJ, what do you got?
Well, I already explained earlier what happened in 9, which is important for 10. That was Bret Hart against Yokozuna in the main event, what was supposed to be the main event. Mm-hmm. Hogan played the Hogan card and wound up in another championship match. And for those of you who did not know, because I love informing people of this, but the infamous black eye at WrestleMania 9, when Hogan had the black eye and he was doing the whole sell job, should I take this match or not? That black eye was courtesy of the right hand of the Macho Man Randy Savage. Because when Macho Man Randy Savage asks you, hey, have you seen my wife? And you say no, but you did. You get a right hand across the fucking face, and that's the reward for what happens. So Hogan had politicked his way into that. That completely fucked up Bret and Yoko and everything they had going. The plan for 9 was to set these 2 stars off into the fucking stratosphere. Hogan stepped on that all the way to June, King of the Ring, Flaming Camera, right? So they reboot. We get to the Royal Rumble, and for the first time in Royal Rumble history, we talked about this in January, we had a Royal Rumble with 2 winners. Bret Hart and Lex Luger. Lex Luger got the championship match early on the WrestleMania card against Yoko. And then the winner of that match, who ended up being Yoko, would face Bret in the main event. Because that challenger had a match, Bret being the white meat baby face that he is, well, I'm going to have a match earlier in the card as well. And that's where we got
the greatest WrestleMania match ever.
The greatest WrestleMania opener, I'll give you. The greatest opening match of WrestleMania history, Bret Hart, and then Bret Hart would lose the first, go on to win the championship in the second match. A lot going on there. But on the other side of the coin, WrestleMania 12, the Iron Man match. Okay, you got to go with the Iron Man match, right? Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, 60 minutes. Pat Patterson, come on, Vince. They could do it. They could do it, Vince. They'll keep the people. They'll keep the people. How are they going to wrestle for 60 minutes? Oh, they'll do it. I tell you, Vince, you're going to see. You're going to see. And we all saw it. It was fantastic. So it's great a Bret match that he had with Yoko, and Yoko's best matches were with Bret. Bret and Shawn, bro. Like, this is Bret and Shawn. And this was the match where they were on the same page. If they would have stayed there after this match, God knows how great those matches would have been. But this was the one night they were clicking. And when those two were on, I can't really pick anybody better. So I'm going 12. 12 on this one.
12 on that one. All right. Good enough. Matt, what do you got?
I'm going with our 1 minute 56-second match, which is Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. Okay. That was the childhood dream being achieved match. Again, I am a huge. I'm not gonna sit here and shit on Bret Hart. I've always liked Bret Hart, but I was always a Shawn Michaels fan. Like, you could say which action figure you want in the store. My mom, which one do you want? I like them both. Okay, but which one do you really want? Shawn Michaels. 2 weeks later, I'll get Bret Hart. I don't care, but I want Shawn Michaels right now. That was me. I was the biggest Shawn Michaels fan, and to watch that and be there the whole step of the way, like, oh my God, come on, let's go, Shawn, let's go, Shawn. And it goes into sudden death. I'm like, oh no. A minute 56 seconds later, Shawn Michaels wins with a sheet chin music. 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Best match. And if I could do that, but then that WrestleMania also had the this match, Roddy Piper versus Goldust in the Hollywood Backlot Brawl, which is another great match.
Yeah.
So the O.J. Simpson
it was Bronco a great card. That's another one you should rewatch. Yes, that was another great card, though.
All right, Joe. Any input?
Biggest Bret Hart fan. He's second or third only to Hogan and Taker, so that's my number three top. And I hated the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart match. I felt that they cheated Bret Hart. So I'm always going to go with the Bret Hart victory.
Oh, you mean the 60-minute match that went
62 minutes? Yeah, and then it went over and he won? Bullshit.
Yeah, fuck that. 62 minutes. I'll never forget.
It's called cardio, my man. Yeah, cardio.
Froth mouth Bret Hart looking at the referee going, why?
What?
Why is there a sudden death?
No, the 60 minutes is up. He didn't win. I'm going home.
Lost.
Right, You're right. They screwed Bret.
No, Bret screwed Bret.
Nah, very good. Bret screwed Bret.
All right. So real quick, before I tell the matches, you want to explain the slash here? 16-2000?
Okay, right. Yeah. So technically speaking, this was the 16th WrestleMania. Every WrestleMania up until this point had kept its numerical value 11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, this was
WrestleMania 2000, right? When they tried to go with the Millennium deal.
About that.
Video game.
Yes. That was the reason why they did it, for the video game marketing.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 2000.
Marketing.
Before it was eclipsed by the far superior No Mercy. So, all right, go ahead.
All right, good enough. So it will be known here as 16. All right. So we're gonna do WrestleMania. We're gonna do WrestleMania 16. The Rock versus Triple H versus Big Show versus Mick Foley. I kind of vaguely remember this. And then WrestleMania 23, which was John Cena versus Shawn Michaels. Matt, what do you got?
Had two great competitors, Shawn Michaels and John Cena. Love them. Again, a lot of people laugh at me, but I was like, hey, I'm a John Cena fan.
I laugh at you on the inside. Go ahead.
Because it's selling. But WrestleMania 2000 was a legendary, it was a great WrestleMania. Again, we're not ranking WrestleManias. We have one of my favorite wrestlers in that whole match. I'm going to go with Shawn and Cena. He's going to go with Shawn and Cena.
We got a 23, AJ. What do you think? Do it. I know you want to do it. Fucking do it. Do it right now. Just say the words and then explain it.
Drop it.
Yeah, I gotta go Fatal 4-Way, and that's nothing against Cena Shawn. Fantastic fucking match, but we've never had a Fatal 4-Way before. We've never had a 4-Way since, and I want to give them a little bit of credit for that. Also, I loved even though now it seems like nails on a chalkboard, but in 2000 it was actually cool to see a McMahon in every corner. And it was
I remember
Vince,
that. Yeah,
Vince with The Rock, Shane with The Big Show, Steph with Triple H, and Linda for some oddball reason with Mick Foley. It was also
Linda
cool.
was the I mean, I guess we're playing fours. I need a pickup, so they're just like, yo, come over here, we need a four.
They were still creative with that when you think about it, because Mick had lost a retirement match the month before, February in Hell in a Cell. He had lost to Triple H, so he was out. So obviously Steph is natural with Triple H. Vince had, if you want to pick a random one, Vince had reluctantly gone to The Rock because The Rock was feuding with Big Show and Shane was with Big Show. So Vince chose The Rock out of spite. Linda only really got involved because she felt, and I guess she was kind of the voice of the people in this scenario, where Mick had busted his ass for this company for how many years and had never even sniffed the main event. The year beforehand, he was the referee for the main event, despite killing his body and everything that he did for the company.
It's funny that you're saying that. Is this the only one he's ever main evented in?
Yes.
Because I'm looking at them
now. It's the only one, and he was completely out of shape for it because
holy shit,
he was retired for real. He thought the Hell in a Cell match was his last match, so he hadn't prepared for a Mania match.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah. So I love the idea of the McMahon in every corner. I love the idea of the 4-Way. I think it sucks that we never got a Triple H Rock one-on-one match at WrestleMania. And I think that might have been the original plan for this before we started rolling towards adding these other heads. But I think we got a good match out of it. Cena and Shawn, the only thing that hurts them is they did it better the next night. That's the only thing that sucks, because that Mania main event was dope. But then they did a better version, 56 minutes of it the next night. And that was the night where Shawn basically cursed out the referee on several occasions. Nope. We're going to go as hard and as long as we can possibly go with this. And they ended up calling it a 56. Because they were not supposed to go 56 minutes.
Two guys.
There was another match after that. I think it was Orton and someone else. They were supposed to follow that match, and they ran so over. The other guys just, all right, next week, fuck it. Just let them go. And they ended up, that's the thing that hurts it, yeah.
All right, Joe, finally, your time to shine.
WrestleMania 2000.
There you go.
No, I was in a play in high school called Voices 2000. And when they did WrestleMania 2000, I'm like, oh, maybe this is my moment. I never got a call. But it was still one of my favorite WrestleManias.
You fucks.
To this day, he waits by the phone.
Vince is gonna call me. Does he have your number? No, but he's gonna call me.
You have to
any
believe.
Fucking day now.
Any day he's gonna call
men like that, men with that power
can Google it.
Number. Exactly. I'm in the yellow pages. All right. So next up, we got WrestleMania 30. Daniel Bryan versus Batista versus Randy Orton versus WrestleMania 34, which is going to be Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Joe, what do you got?
I'm definitely gonna go with Daniel Bryan and Batista. That was the buildup where he kept getting screwed, or
the B+ player.
Yeah, the B+ player. Yeah.
That's a good spot for you, Daniel.
I like that buildup. That was a fun storyline that led us to a good reward. So I got to go with that one.
Okay, which one was that again? I'm sorry, I was changing 30. Something. What was that?
30.
Which one did you pick, Joe?
Daniel Bryan and Batista.
Daniel Bryan and Batista. All right, cool. Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same way. WrestleMania 30. It was a great one. The opening of it was great when you have Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. Triple H, of course, his entrances always got to be tip top on point, cinematic style. Loved it. You had Charlotte, and you had Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, and you had Sasha Banks. It was a hell of a match for them two to open up WrestleMania, and then Danny Bryan to come out and do the triple threat match at the end. with two people who were carrying the company and Orton at one point. So yeah, I'm gonna give it that one because then he wins. It was more of an emotional moment for him because the Connor was actually sitting ringside for that WrestleMania. The Connor Cure kid. And he basically was it was a very emotional WrestleMania for Danny Bryant. So it was like that was a great one though. I enjoyed it. Undertaker lost a streak that night, which we all were like, oh my God, what the hell's gonna happen? The universe is out of whack. What the hell did Thanos do?
Eyes that popped out of his head, yes.
With the kid, yep. And then he was standing right next to Romeo Santos. Yeah, it was great. But WrestleMania 30.
There you go. AJ, you got anything to add?
It was WrestleMania 30, and what was the other one?
34.
34. So the only two WrestleMania's main events that Taker is that lost at. Because he lost, the streak ended at 30, and he lost to Roman Reigns at 34.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the only two Manias that Taker has lost. So by choice,
you said this was randomly generated, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I can show you guys the website. It's actually pretty dope.
Cool.
The algorithm has you, AJ.
The algorithm. You guys, the Yes Movement, obviously, Yeselmania, Big 30,
Yeah.
34, that main event was actually kind of a letdown. If Taker was sitting on this podcast right now, he'd tell you to pick 30. I'm not even joking, because if you watch his Dead Man documentary, when he watches that Roman Reigns match back, he hates it.
Is that passed out right now?
But that's ironic though, because didn't he say he would have rather dropped it to Roman?
He said he would have rather have broken the streak to Roman, but even he did, and this is me making an assumption, if the streak would have broke on that match, he would have been unhappy. That wasn't the match.
That's exactly.
That wasn't the match he wanted to have with Roman Reigns.
Because although he wasn't the biggest fan about dropping that match to Lesnar, he did say there were some pretty intense and memorable moments in that match.
Yeah, well, him and Lesnar have a chemistry. He has a friendship with Brock. He understood what the plan was, even though he disagreed with it.
Right.
He understood. It wasn't like they gave him something bullshit, and he was like, oh, this is bullshit. I don't want to do this.
We want you to lose to the gobbledygooker.
He kind of understood where they were headed with it. He just thought it'd be better business if they went a different direction. That's why the match eventually happened. But by the time it happened, like Taker at WrestleMania 30 was already kind of, for lack of a better term, broken. And then 4 years later, obviously, it's even worse than it was.
It's like you're fighting crumbs at that point.
Yeah. He takes a lot of blame for that match, though. Too.
He takes all the blame for that match.
Yeah, he says he just wasn't ready.
He was actually concussed. He was concussed in WrestleMania 30. He got concussed.
Yeah,
almost to the point where I think he just feels bad that he did that to Roman. But Roman will take that match either way. I'm sure.
And I always feel like people will always hold Roman Reigns to a different standard after that match because of the look that Roman gave Taker when it was over. If you look at that shot of Roman's face when that match is over, it was almost disappointment. And it was like, that's what's left. Like, I mean, he didn't do that and he didn't say that, but he had a face where it's just like, God damn, like, what did I just do? Like, who was I in there with? So yeah,
like just when a New Yorker gets pizza out of state. Is this your pizza?
is this your king? Is this your king?
It also could be a look of not necessarily at him in disappointment, but probably the situation in general, right? Like you got Taker walking around saying he'd rather give it to you. You don't get that match. You have to wait another year to get your match with him, and it was just like one match too shy.
You can incorporate disappointment two ways. You can look at that picture and say that maybe he's disappointed at what Taker brought to the table, or you can flip it where Roman's disappointed in himself because he walks around the locker room telling everybody, I can carry anybody here. I'll get everybody over. It doesn't matter. I'm that good. And he went in the ring with Taker and couldn't do it. So now that falls on him. And that maybe that look is him now saying to himself, shit, that was a missed opportunity right there.
Yeah, but then if you listen to Taker, it could have sounded like he gave Taker the match to call and you know what I mean? Like it could have been all kinds of things. Right. No one knows.
In the end, I'm going 30 because 30 gave us a wonderful moment. Reigns winning that main event made a bigger star out of Roman, and let's be honest, Roman's the bigger star than Daniel is. He's led the company for longer. He's been on top longer. Daniel's injuries is really what held him back. Not that he couldn't have been a top star. He just wasn't around to be one. So they gave us a great moment, just like 34 gave us another great moment when Daniel returned. One was the big moment, the other one was the
algorithm once again.
That's it, man.
So it all kind of came full circle for both of those guys at those two particular WrestleManias. It was kind of spooky how that generator did that, but 30.
Good enough. All right, next one we got coming up here is WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. And WrestleMania 18, Triple H and Chris Jericho.
All 1,800 pounds of Andre
Joe,
the Giant
what do you
over
got?
his head.
You gotta. Let me tell you something, brother. You just gotta go with WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 3 changed the game, man. That slam that retired Andre's back. Not really so much Andre yet, but his back definitely.
I went up over my shoulders.
I picked up Andre over my head. 9,000 tons of him.
It was like slamming a battleship.
I picked up the Empire State Building and slammed it. That was the
took my childhood home and scoop slammed it in the Pontiac Silverdome, brother.
I picked up the Willie of the Whale and slammed it out of the chair.
Oh my God, you gotta hear Hogan's stories, bro.
Oh man.
Andre has gotten fatter over time. The longer he's told the story.
He's like 9,000 pounds.
I think this was the first WrestleMania where he was a Siamese twin. There was a second head and an additional body, and I scooped him in the middle. It was weird. It was peanut butter on my gear. I couldn't explain it. It was just weird.
No, but that just left such a memorable moment. That's when I was really getting into wrestling, WrestleMania 3, the awareness of it, because I've been watching wrestling since they put me on my great-grandmother's knee. All right, boy, you're going to be quiet and watch this here wrestling. And I'm always like, are you from Maryland? Why do you have this thick Southern accent?
I was going to say that. Why do people from Delaware sound like that? I don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't get it. It's like, well, okay, I love you, though. You know? But, yeah, WrestleMania 3 was just epicness. The singlet, Andre the Giant, where he's got the one-man titty just hanging out.
That's it, man.
Ride.
Man
versus
titty,
the immortal Hulk Hogan, and that's the elevated Hogan into the stratosphere of stardom before the decline.
Yeah, we did harp on the bottom. This was the up right here.
Yeah, this was the up. This was what elevated
way
Hogan
up over his shoulders up.
This is the official passing of the torch. Superstardom of wrestling from Andre the Giant to Hulk Hogan. This was the game changer. This is what made Hulkamania, and this is what took WWE from WWE to Hulk Hogan, right? You know, so that's just everything. That slam was everything, and that Mania was everything. So WrestleMania 3, without a doubt, is the WrestleMania match. Hogan and Andre the Giant.
What do you got, Matt?
Let me tell you something. I'm not going to say brother at the end of that one. I'm going to go with WrestleMania 3. Okay. Just because, it's the slam, and then the entrances for that one was actually pretty cool. They were like on an elevated ring.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
Rode them into the ring. Yeah. And Bobby the Brain Heenan, while he's going back after he's like they're throwing garbage at him.
He was distraught.
Yeah, it was great. Like he was like he was such a great manager for that moment. Like his reaction when Andre got body slammed was like crazy.
Yeah,
and it added so much more emotion to the body slam. So I'm gonna go with WrestleMania 3 just because of that one moment and Hogan coming in like this and through the crowd. And it was. I'm just going by the entrances and the body slam.
That's it. What do you got, AJ?
WrestleMania 3. It was a great WrestleMania, but yeah.
No disrespect to Jericho and Triple H. I feel bad because I think that's also Jericho's only main event, I believe.
Jericho's only main event.
But it's the slam, bro. The slam, and Matt brought up something that I used as an example from my own situation. I'm managing a 400-plus pound badass. And one of the first things when I became the manager, I told him was, you are never coming off your feet again. Never. You guys have no idea how hard I'd be arguing with him about taking bumps. No. Not even once.
Does he have a spinning heel kick as a move?
Not which I'm trying to eliminate because he's pissing me off with it. But no, just for like wrestlers half his size. Obviously, bumps against equal size guys or strong guys. You know, the bumps that make sense. But like in the wrestling business, there aren't a whole lot of people his size. So I'm like, never. And I told him, I said, the first time there's a method to my madness, right? For every time somebody tries to get you down and tries to get you down and tries to get you down, and after a while, since I've been managing, he has not fallen down yet. And I'm going to keep him doing that because I'm going to start talking about it in my promos. You can't knock him down. You can't do this. He's an unstoppable force and blah, blah, blah. The first guy that knocks him on his ass, I'm going to fucking go nuts. I'm doing the Heenan. That's why when you brought it up, that was the first thing I thought of because that's my plan. That's my goal. That's why I don't want him falling down. Because the first motherfucker that puts him on his ass, I'm going to be like, oh, my God. Sam, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of there. You guys remember I wanted to do a promo with Sam. I'm building towards it. But the first guy that knocks him on his ass, I still want us to win the match, but to have that be in the back of our minds that he's a fucking threat, right? Just in the case of building a babyface, he's a fucking threat. He's this guy right here. He's the one that puts you on your ass. This guy's crazy. I don't know how many people remember, but a particular scene always stuck out on my head. Rocky 2. There's a scene in Rocky 2 that always stands out in my mind. Is when Apollo Creed has all of his people in the room and he's trying to come up with a plan to convince Rocky to get back into the ring. And his manager, Tony, is sitting there. He's like, "Come on, man, let's find some fresh meat, man. Let's find a new contender." He's all washed up. He's like, "What are you so afraid of? Like, what are you trying to get off this?" He goes, "You want me to be real?" He's like, "Yeah, I want you to be real." He's all wrong for us, baby.
Oh wow, yeah.
He's all wrong for us, baby. I seen you beat that man like I ain't never seen no man beat before, and he kept coming after you.
Guess who's watching Rocky 2 after this?
I'm super hyped for that.
Yeah, well, hold on. He goes.
Viewing party.
He said, I seen you beat that man like I ain't never seen no man beat before, and he kept coming after you. We don't need no man like that in our life.
Rocky 1, he looked like.
He said, we don't need no man like that in our life. And I think that was, see how you guys are hyped? I wanted to spin that for Sam, where it's like Sam's this undeterminable badass. Even before I managed him, he was always respected. Sam has been respected for over 10 years in this industry. He's a big guy. He takes bumps for everybody. He makes people look good, all that stuff. And I said, wouldn't it be cool if we were to use that in a real way? Just like Bobby did with Andre. Andre didn't do any talking. Bobby did all of the talking. But that was because Andre was a badass before Bobby did the talking. So
Andre was doing all the drinking.
So when Bobby started doing the talking for him, everyone believed it. Everyone bought it because they had already seen the badass be a badass beforehand. So my guy is a badass. The only thing he was missing was somebody to come in and do the chit-chat for him. So now I'm here doing it, and I plug it, and I push it. He can't be stopped. You can't knock him down. He can't be stopped. Just like Andre. What was they saying? Undefeated for 8 years or all this other stuff, like building it up. And then by the time that Hogan, that was it, the building, and we're still talking about it today. This exact scenario is what I'm trying to re-image with my guy. By the time we work it to where he comes off of his feet, that's going to be a big fucking deal. And I want to work that for forever. That's the guy that fucking did it. We got to stay away from him. And, of course, Sammy's a badass. No, I want to fight him. I want to fuck him up. No, baby, listen to me. Business. We got to stay away from people like this. Please.
Have other people try to do the same thing that the other person did, and they fail every
right. I want to build.
single time, and that person, we're like, no, not you. You get out of here.
I feel in our industry right now, we have baby faces and we have heels. I don't feel like we have baby faces that can make a heel, and we don't have heels that can make a baby. I want my team to be heels that make the baby be an actual fucking baby. Put him in a position where he's got to fight from fucking underneath and get these fucking people behind you. We're talking about an era where Hogan was considered an underneath performer. That's how long ago this shit was, but it worked. And they eventually dragged it into the ground, but it worked at the time. And that's what I'm trying to do. So this is a very...
that was the vision.
Yeah.
That was the vision of our tag team. Yeah. We were supposed to be the babyface underdog tag team that every time almost right there, we got it, beat down. Right. Almost got it, beat down. And when we finally get to the very top, beat down again. But it didn't work. Ooh. Apparently it didn't work.
93,173 people.
That's been debunked.
Wrestlemania.
That's been debunked, but we'll that's another comment.
Oh, yeah.
That's another comment for another day, yeah.
Right.
Between comp tickets and the whatnot. Yeah. That's why I questioned the Dallas one too, but that's neither here nor there.
Good enough. All right, so the next one's going to be WrestleMania 27, which is John Cena versus The Miz versus WrestleMania 4, Randy Savage versus...
Oh, this is going to... All right, real quick, guys. Go ahead. This is a quick one. Go ahead.
All right, we're going to go with Joe on this one. Go ahead.
WrestleMania 4?
Yeah.
Come on. I'm not even going to say nothing.
Yeah,
if you're a wrestling fan and you don't know WrestleMania 4, you're not a wrestler.
Eat salts. Go ahead.
Matt?
Oh, man.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Great.
I got my finger on the mute button. Go ahead.
Great match WrestleMania 4. Great match WrestleMania 4. It was great. I loved Randy Savage. He's like to me, he was one of the best talkers. Mm-hmm. And I loved build up for WrestleMania 27. The build up was great for Miz to like do that whole video package right before his match, especially with the song he used. Can't get over that. You can't get over that. But I don't want to get booted, so I'm gonna go WrestleMania 4 tonight.
I'm not actually gonna boot you. If you want 27, you can pick 27.
You can pick 27. It don't matter either way.
Nah, 27 was.
We already know where AJ's going.
That doesn't matter where I'm going.
Like I said, the build-up was great for the match, but WrestleMania 4 was great.
So you're picking 4 as well. So you're picking 4 as well. 4. Okay, all right. Yeah, I am also going 4. Randy Savage, Ted DiBiase. That was the tournament to crown a new champion. I think that's the only WrestleMania that's had a tournament. I think. So yeah. I think that's the only one that had a tournament. Yeah,
I think it was.
I also like the build up for Cena Miz. I just think the match itself
fell short.
That was the grape soda incident. We wasn't paying attention to that fucking main event. They lost us 5 minutes in. That match was all over the fucking place.
What happened with the grape soda?
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Time out. I remember this moment now, and now I'm even more upset about the grape soda because I know I was excited to see The Miz in that WrestleMania main event because I'm huge on The Miz, and it got overshadowed by this stupid grape soda.
Okay, I'm going to do it again real quick. I must have been another roundtable where I discussed
this. Really quickly.
Really quickly. I had a bunch of people over for WrestleMania 27. I had a WrestleMania party every year in my house. My brother obviously came to a few of them. I have friends that come over. I got one friend who's a huge Cena guy, and he came to my house one time with a Cena shirt on. My wife is the anti. We can't even say his name in the house. He is he who should not be named in the house, right? And so he came with a shirt. He was asked to change and the whole shebang. Blah blah blah. That was WrestleMania 24. And then she told him, never again, don't bring that shit in my house, blah, blah, blah. Cool. WrestleMania 25. A whole year later, this is real time, an actual fucking year has gone by. He comes into the house or whatever, he's got a Randy Savage shirt on, which fits our conversation right now. And everything was good. We're going through the whole pay-per-view, blah, blah, blah. Here comes the big entrance with the multiple Cenas or whatever, and boom, he tears the Savage shirt to reveal Cena shit underneath. Boo, fuck you, da 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 da. 26. Another Cena shirt situation. So now we get to WrestleMania 27. And my wife's on high alert. You have to buzz at this. This was another apartment. You have to buzz the front building door to get into the building in the first place. He buzzed and she went downstairs to search. She searched him, shirts, everything like that, the whole shebang. We walked upstairs together, da 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 da. For the show's going on. Cena's obviously in the main event for this pay-per-view. There's a little conversation that I noticed on the side between him and a buddy. And it turns out the buddy snuck one in. I guess he figured he'd be searched. And the buddy snuck it in. He went to the bathroom or whatever and changed up. So when the Cena music hit and he came out and did the whole thing, he tore another shirt. And there it is again. So out of pure guttural reaction, she stands up. He stands up. He starts to run because she starts to run. They're running down my hallway, and out of sheer desperation, he jumps into my bathroom. As he's closing the door, she grabs the nearest thing to her, which happened to be an open can of Welch's grape soda. And down the hall, Montana style. I mean, cockback formation was perfect. She chucked an open soda at the bathroom door, but in the process, it wet the entire area up in grape soda. And you hear him chuckling in the bathroom, and everyone's like, la, 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 la. He was almost banned from my house for life that day.
I don't even think he saw the match. He was in there the whole time.
No, this happened. He waited a few minutes in. That's why I was saying that it kind of lost us, because we were watching the match, but the match was all over the place, and we were like, all right. And that's when he said, well, here we go. I was like, oh, shit, he did it again. Oh, fuck. And then she threw the soda. It was a whole deal. The grape soda incident of WrestleMania 27. But
the infamous.
Yes, the infamous, because he I got to give him credit. Every fucking year he was creative.
He was committed to the bit, man.
That was the last straw, though.
So the whole thing is, don't get AJ's wife anything that deals with Cena.
No, you're not. You can't discuss it. You can't say the words.
She is OD with it.
Yeah.
No, please do not do it.
Over the top. I made a mistake today.
So wait, you can't watch Wipeout now?
Yeah, well, she wasn't watching it. She won't watch Suicide Squad with me now.
Oh, that's going to be pretty good.
She said, no, you can watch it. I don't care. I'm not watching it. I can't watch him in it.
Oh, wow.
Does she watch Ferdinand at least?
She has had dreams. She has had dreams of beating him up. Like, she woke up in the morning and she's like, yo, I had a great dream last night. So what happened? She was like, I fucking took a frying pan to John Cena's head. I was like, are you fucking serious? I think she hates this. I did have one special moment, though. There was one time she couldn't get away from him. WrestleMania 35. She couldn't get away. We were in the building. They were doing the Elias thing, and it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
And it was the throwback, which is when she started hating him. It was the white rapper gimmick, which started to hate. So when the theme hit, she just looked at me with that serious face. I was like, I think I have it on camera. I got to see if I have the face on camera.
But wait a second. That was actually the better Cena. I don't know.
That was the one where she was just like, is she fucking, is he for real? Like, that was it. Even when he switched and changed it up and stopped doing it, it was for life. That was it. It was done. So, yeah. Whatever.
This is
I said earlier that Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow would have been a first round buy. This was a first round buy. Savage and DiBiase.
All right, we got the next one here. We're going on WrestleMania 24, which is Undertaker and Edge versus WrestleMania 14, Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, man.
And since Matt's freaking out over here, we're going to put him in the hot seat and have him go first.
Oh, God. Jesus. This is one of my – I'm a big Edge head.
Oh, wow.
Big Edge head.
Big Edge head.
Love Edge.
He likes getting Edge during his head.
He loves Edge head.
Yes.
He loves to be Edge during head.
Usually head and edging are two different categories on Pornhub.
If I'm not mistaken, this Shawn and Austin was in Texas. Shawn had the Texas tights on.
No.
If I'm not mistaken.
Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels was Boston. That was the Red Hearts. The Texas Hearts was Psycho Sid. It was at the Rumble. That was in Texas.
That's right.
Yes.
The
fucking tights, bro. That's how deep we go here on our CDs on Mind. I remember
that.
The tights. He only wore it once.
Yeah, right?
He only wore it once.
Edge and Taker was a great match. Very great match. You know what? I'm going with Edge and Taker. That's it.
Oh, there it is. Going with his gut.
He's going with his gut, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you got?
Oh my God, with that
Edge and Taker, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn, that made quick work. All right, AJ, any input?
I'm going Michaels Austin.
Okay.
That was the match that set off the era. The era of Austin has begun. Nothing came from the Edge Taker match. It was another Taker match, and Edge disappeared shortly after. So I'm going to go with the start of one of the greatest eras in wrestling history. Well, I still lose. They still move on, but
still lose indeed.
That match was just,
man was in there with a broken back, bro.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he actually did have a broken back.
Yeah. And he re-broke it in the match.
Can you imagine
with that
breaking it some more while you were wrestling?
No, I don't want to imagine that at all. It sounds terrible.
But that WrestleMania 24 also brought us. Wasn't that the Ric Flair retirement with Shawn
Fair, but again, we're not comparing
with the super kick. I'm sorry. Click.
I love you.
So sorry.
All right, here we are.
Fun fact, my shirt got ripped up that night. I was at an ex-girlfriend's house.
Oh no.
Her cousin, huge Ric Flair fan. I was Shawn Michaels t-shirt, and he took scissors to my t-shirt and cut it off of my back.
Wow.
During that match.
You should have looked at him and said, "I'm sorry. I love you," and kicked him right in the fucking face.
Yeah. That would be great.
Fun fact, I bumped into him at the Homicide tribute show.
Oh no.
Did you kick him?
Taking pictures. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna buy you another shirt. No, he bought me another shirt that night. He bought me one of my boy shirts. I'm like, good, because I was gonna buy it off my boy, but
I'm glad you volunteered the shirt, because I was finna whoop your ass, but I'll take the shirt. That was the show where I did the interview with LAX.
The new shirt out of it.
Oh wow.
I interviewed LAX at the Homicide tribute show. I was there for that.
We are approaching the bottom of the bracket.
I bought you guys beers that night.
WrestleMania 5, Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage versus WrestleMania 29, The Rock versus John Cena. Joe, what do you got?
Oh no.
Savage Hogan, man, the mega powers explode. Yeah.
You looking at my Miss Elizabeth with lust in your eyes.
Don't go in the room with her alone, brother.
You had to get, that was the one with you had to get your hot dog in it, you show it off. It's like, oh my God. Wait, listen, your hot dog in it, your grandstanding, yeah. Some of those promos were some of the best of all time.
The intensity the Macho Man brought has still yet to be matched in wrestling today.
Won't be.
There's nobody that comes in on the mic like Macho. And there never probably will be someone that comes in on the mic like Macho.
That's what makes him so great.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a how many kids that we know of. You know?
What do you got?
That we know of, exactly.
Anybody who tries to mimic it just sounds like they're yelling.
God damn, that looks like Randy Savage. Like,
yeah. What do you got, man?
Are you related? No, I'm going with Randy Hogan. I'm going with that one. Because again, two of people's favorites. I was a big Macho Man fan, and I loved it because he was defending his woman to his jealousy. Looking at my Miss Elizabeth, but it's not. That's the best. No,
what's your input?
That wins automatically.
Automatic. Yeah, I'm going WrestleMania 4, dude. I mean, WrestleMania 5. Randy Savage, Hogan. That was a full year's worth of build.
Yeah,
and I know
that's when Saturday Night Main Event was a big.
And I know that people will say so was Cena and Rock. Because WrestleMania, one that I picked was 29 because that was for the WWE Championship. But the 28 match was the build for that began at the Miz match at 27. That was when Cena hit Rock with the FU, and then they did the big Rock bottom on Raw the next night. So they'll tell you, yeah, it was a year in the making, but we never saw these motherfuckers together, except but like a few times, and then they had the tag match of Survivor Series to build. Imagine that. They had a match in November to help build for a match that we're going to have in fucking April. That did not happen when Hogan
I was there for that November match, too.
I was there as well. Hogan Savage went to work every day for a year.
Right.
And told an actual story that developed and evolved over time. And when the Mega Powers, when they finally exploded, there were people like so into the storyline they felt bad for Elizabeth.
Yep.
That was like part of the sympathy of the match, that people were just like they're treating her like property, like she doesn't know who to, like Hogan's such a good friend, but that's my husband. What am I supposed to do? Like, bitch, your husband. That's supposed to be the easy one. It was I get killed all the time for calling Miss Elizabeth one of the most overrated talents of all time. But in that case, in that storyline, she was perfect. She played the sympathy role perfect for the two of them. It was great. Those promos. That's Definitely. It. I don't even remember Hogan's promos back at him. Because if you think about it, because they were just blatant, just babyface, just like, hey, man, we got to be together, man. We got to be on the same page. But it was always much, man, look into your eyes, Hogan. I can look into your eyes. And now he was getting deep. And as far as mimicking that intensity, Joe, you had mentioned earlier about people having a hard time mimicking that energy. I just feel like anybody who tries to copy it now just sounds like they're yelling. It doesn't sound the same.
Why are you trying to copy Macho Man, dude?
We had a guy. Oh man, what was his name? I don't mean to throw him under the bus, but I used to laugh about it. Ray Ravello. He used to do we had him at FSW for a little bit. He's predominantly in Jersey. Oh, I think he did Frankie Flo for a little bit. But he was, what was it, the Dominican something. His name was Ray Ravello. He used to do, he didn't do the voice, but he used to talk with his hands. He used to do the whole, like the whole thing with like Macho Man used to do, but without the voice. So it was like the weirdest. It was so weird. If Ray's watching, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it was.
Put your hands down. Right?
It was hilarious. Yeah, no, it was like oh my god, it was just the weirdest thing. Yeah, but
like,
Mega Powers.
Mira eso.
Awesome.
On to the next.
All right, last part of the bracket here. We got WrestleMania 1, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper and Orndorff. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Yeah, Paul Orndorff.
Paul Orndorff.
And one arm bigger than the other because he tore the small arm.
Versus
the small arm was the stronger arm. So
versus WrestleMania 33, Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker. What do you got, Joe?
Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Piper versus Hogan and Mr. T.
Mr. T.
There was some undertone until I didn't realize it until I got older. Racism flowing in there against Mr. T. That's something that when you become an older adult that's a biracial son, you go, oh, wait a minute, that shit was racist.
as of a lot of things you start to realize from back in that time. Yeah.
But and then learning about Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, who is another bad guy, heel, so to speak, that never really got a moment to shine in the title reign or main event other than that. So I got to go with that one. And that was also my man, Mr. T. I think they met on the set of Rocky 3, and that's why this match happened. They were like, they hit it off, despite Hogan's flowing use of the N-word later on.
I tell you what, I bet you he didn't use it around Mr. T.
Yeah, he probably
Mr. T was woke as shit back in the 80s. He'd have fucked him up.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. T was from the streets.
I pity the fool.
I pity the fool.
Says the N-word around me. What do you got, Matt?
Hold on, brother. No, I'm going to go with WrestleMania 1, of course.
Okay.
I'm going to go with it because Roddy Piper, come on now.
Yeah.
Anything that man did, even borderline racist, it was still amazing. He was a heel. He did what he had to do to get over. He did what he had to do to be the heel. But yeah, it was a lot of people were kind of angry with that one because it was a celebrity in the main event with them. But other than that, it was by far, it's what set the tone for the next WrestleManias to come. This was the first.
Yeah.
So this one has to get the next bracket. It may get knocked out, but it has to get to the next bracket.
What do you think, AJ?
Mr. Wonderful. I love that theme, boy. To this day, if I pop it on, my son will look at me like a fucking idiot, but I don't care because I'm fucking. He does that now. I'll play old. I play old things from back in the day, and my son will be on the couch on his iPad, and I'll play a song here. Oh, Jesus. He looks at you like you were so lucky you're the adult in the house because I would turn this shit. He said something. I did. I was getting hyped for WrestleMania. Around this season, I really start going heavy on playing themes around the house for no reason. So he's on the couch, and I'm in my kitchen. He can't even see me. And I'm playing on the TV real loud in the house. I'm playing Seth Rollins. And it says, burn it down. I come through through the living room area where he's at, super hyped. I'm super hyped. I'm feeling it. And my son gets up from the couch. He doesn't acknowledge me. He gets up from the couch, walks all the way to the bedroom where my wife is, goes in the bed with my wife, and she goes, what's the matter? He goes, he's doing it again. And I'm like, what? Burn it down, bro. Come on. But yeah, no, I got to go WrestleMania 1, bro. It's the one that started it all. That thing fails, we don't get to 2. And if we don't get to 2, we don't get to 37. And it is what it is. I left this one in because I took out Lawrence Taylor on the celebrity aspect while this one had a celebrity, but at least this one was more of a match. And it was the first. I couldn't eliminate the first. Just, I don't know. I just couldn't do it.
Off of principle.
Off of principle. I just couldn't. I could not bring myself to do that.
All right, boys, we're down to our final portion of this bracket. We're not looking for much explanation unless there's some shock value. Then we can go into a little bit of explanation here. But we are going to run through and pick our picks and run through the rest of this bracket here until we get our final winner. So we're going to start off here with Mania 19, which a reminder is Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar versus WrestleMania 6, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. Joe, what do you got?
Oh, I'm going with the one that really got me going, and that's 6.
6?
Yeah.
All right, Matt, what do you got?
I got Brock versus the Ring. I'm going with 19.
19. All right, we fought. Damn, we went through that entire right side of the bracket with no tiebreaker, and we're starting off with a bang. AJ, what do you got?
I'm sorry, 19.
19.
Sorry, 19. Better match.
The Ring wins WrestleMania bracket.
Yeah.
I actually like it because of the match.
All right. WrestleMania 25 versus which was Triple H and Randy Orton versus WrestleMania 21, which was Triple H and Batista. AJ, what do you got?
21.
Triple H wins no matter
21.
Yeah.
Doesn't
he
Joe, what do you
always
got?
though?
Bautista.
21 years.
21. So 21 goes. Matt, what was your pick?
21. Bautista.
21. All right, cool. Awesome. We'll go through that. Boom. To the next thing. All right. Mania 26, which was Michaels and Taker, versus 17, which was Stone Cold and
Oh
The
my
Rock.
God.
Wow.
Holy
Stone Cold
shit.
and The Rock.
I'm going to have to open this up.
Joe, what do you got?
Oh, nice. Stone Cold and The Rock. Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Oh, man.
Stone Cold and The Rock.
Oh,
AJ,
man.
what do you got?
No, I don't want to do it.
AJ, what do you got?
Oh, man. Bad matchup. I'm sorry, the retirement match. Taker and Taker and Shawn.
Taker and Shawn. We got a tiebreaker, Matt. What do you got?
Let's get this again.
Oh my God.
That's a little bit of the Bernie. That's the burn.
Oh, that reminds me.
He's got a swing for
There
it.
you go. It's gotta get,
Oh God. I am going retirement match. That was. I'm sorry, Rock, but I'm going with retirement match. Drinking your tequila.
As he cries through his answer. Go ahead.
26, right?
Oh fuck.
Right?
Said
Yes. I'm saying right. Yes. Okay.
My chest is burning. Yes.
All right. Good enough. Mania 20. Oh, let me delete this so I can keep my flow going.
I'm leaving this here.
20. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the name that I forgot. You guys said what was the other name?
Stevie Richards.
Mr. Richards.
Steven Richards.
Versus WrestleMania.
I'll show you. You'll
Seth
see.
Rollins, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. AJ, what do you got?
Well, it's 2 triple threat matches, bro.
Fuck. 20 and 31.
You need this?
This is, as my wife would say on every other Tuesday, this is getting hard. Let me see.
Touchy Tuesday.
31.
31. Matt, what do you got?
Oh man, Steven Richards match. I'm going 20.
20. Okay, we got a breaker here, Joe. What do you got?
Wow.
Just remember, your dead relatives are watching you right now, rooting you on.
My dead relatives?
Yeah.
They're big wrestling fans too.
That's what I'm saying. They're all looking down on you right now, willing you to your
Make the right choice,
to the correct
Joe.
answer. Yeah.
We believe in you.
They're gonna be standing by that gate when you get there. Just remember that. Yeah.
We're gonna elbow drop you when you come over.
Yeah. You'll get in, but we all get a trap before you get in.
Yeah. Woo. I'm gonna go with the Stevie Richards.
Oh, there you go. See.
Yeah.
All right.
20.
So
I'll stand alone. I'm all right.
Confetti. You can't go.
I'll stand alone.
He's gonna headbutt you when you get there.
In history.
we're gonna 20. All right.
No, he's not gonna touch me because he's in the other place.
Yeah.
He's in the other place.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you go up there and see me. Yeah.
Oh my god! All right, we're gonna move past this before we get absolutely canceled on this one. WrestleMania 12 versus WrestleMania 16. 12 was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. 16, The Rock, Triple H, Big Show, and Mick Foley.
That's McManamania.
Matt, what do you got?
Basically,
yeah.
I got my favorite WrestleMania, and I'm going with 12.
12.
I wish your internet had more grit.
12. 12. Joe, what do you got?
I'm going with McManamania because it was WrestleMania 2000. Yeah.
The WrestleMania 2000.
All right. Tiebreaker, AJ, what do you got?
I went with history on the last one. I can't ignore Fantastic Wrestling on the second. So, as historic as the 4-way was, I'm going with the Iron Man match.
12.
Yeah.
Give me a number.
12, yes, 12.
Thank you. You guys gotta give me numbers. See, I'm looking at a bunch of shit. All right, good enough. Oh.
It's not like the lady at the DMV. I'm gonna need a number, sir. Please just put a number down.
Yes.
Okay. I don't care about your life story. Just put a number down, please.
WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan, Batista, Randy Orton versus WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
God damn. Those are two really good fucking. Where is my liquor at? What the fuck's happening?
AJ, where you got this on?
Oh, don't do this to me. I thought we were friends. Okay, hold on.
No, I don't know. Whoever told you that?
you have been misled. No, let me see. Oh fuck. 3.
All right. Joe, what do you? No, I'm kidding. Matt, what do you got?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna go with 3.
3. All right. Well, since Joe wanted to walk away during the rapid rounds. Look, there he is. He went to go get a swig. 3. All right, good enough.
He's joining us. Okay, cool.
Maybe now, maybe later. All right, the next one's got WrestleMania 4, Randy Savage and Ted DiBiase versus 24, Undertaker and Edge. What do you got, Matt?
I'm gonna go with 4.
Gonna go with 4, AJ.
Let me see. It's 4 and what? What's the other one?
24, Taker and Edge.
Gotta go 4.
Damn, 4 it is. What do you say, Joe? You're gonna go with 4 as well?
4. Absolutely.
Clean sweep, that is awesome. Then we got 5, which is Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage versus Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, Roddy Piper, and Orton. That's we're gonna go with Joe on this one.
Oh, really? Gonna start with me?
Since you kept walking away, you're starting to
fucker.
I had to get snacks. This has been a while.
I had to get snacks. My blood sugar is low, you pricks.
I had low blood sugar. I had
to. Pass them out.
So you go first. I'm a diabetic, motherfucker. For health reasons, I have to go at least 3rd. No, spit it out, fuck.
Yeah, 5-1.
What?
5-1.
Oh, 5-1. Oh my god. 5.
5. All right, Matt, what do you got?
5. It was a great story.
Yeah.
5. AJ?
5.
5 it is indeed. Damn. Well, so much for being the first one. Not having one takes us to 37 bullshit. That's out the window.
We're about to lose Joe.
That shit went right out the window real fucking quick. All right. 19 versus 21. You got Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar versus Triple H and Batista. AJ, what do you got?
19.
19. Matt?
19.
19. And Joe, just for shits and gigs, what do you got?
19.
19.
Yeah, I like when the ring wins.
Good enough. 20s.
What was that?
I did something wrong here. No. 26 versus 20.
20.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and of course the other guy. For 20.
Richards.
I forget. I accidentally deleted 26. Can someone tell me what that was?
That was Michael's Taker.
There you go. Michael's Taker. AJ, what do you got?
Michaels Taker.
26.
Yeah.
26. Matt.
Really? I'm going with the Steven Richards match. WrestleMania 20.
Okay, tiebreaker, Joe. What do you got?
Steven Richards.
Okay, there you go. So I guess I was foreshadowing here because 26 is already gone on my screen. 12, which is Brett and Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Joe, what do you got?
God damn it.
Well, you know something, Dave. Gotta go with 3, man. That's the real catalyst right there.
Damn. All right, AJ, what do you got?
I gotta stay consistent. I'll go 12.
Ooh, tiebreaker, Matt.
I gave it to 19 for that reason. I gotta stay consistent. So yeah.
What do you got?
I got booze.
This is the one who said the step.
I got tequila. No, let me stop. I got 12.
Wow.
That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one of all time.
I get a feeling he's got 12 going all the way. So I think unless he gets outvoted on a bad matchup, it looks like that might be the winner. I don't know.
4 versus 5. Savage, Ted DiBiase, Hulk Hogan, Savage.
Ooh.
Joe, what do you got?
He's got to knock himself out.
Apparently
he looks like he's about to knock himself out.
Why did your voice drop an octave just now? Oh, boy. Why?
Damn, that's a tough one because that 4 was such an epic match, but 5 had such great build-up. God damn.
Build up or the execution?
Oh,
both. They had everything.
No, I'm asking you. The build up or the based on your description, the build up or the execution?
Exactly. So 5 execution.
5. All right. AJ, what do you got?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're calling God a lot tonight.
Yeah, we're calling the Almighty Lord to, all the shit going on in the world. He's really got to focus on this WrestleMania bracket.
Oh my God, that's true.
Well, he's got enough wrestlers.
Here we go. There's a little bit here. Here's a.
Oh, there you go. We got
a little bit.
There we got that pimp look. You good to go, bro. After he does these brackets, he's gonna start smacking bitches. That's where he's running.
Stop stalling, asshole. Pick him.
5.
We're gonna go with 5, Matt. What do you think?
Damn.
5.
5. Good enough. All right.
I have to bring the hair down for this one.
We're flowing.
To call him in.
Here we go. 19 versus 20. Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the other guy that I keep fucking forgetting.
Richards.
AJ, what do you got?
It was 20 versus who?
20 versus 19.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I'm 19.
19, Matt, what do you got?
Shit. So far. Sorry, but 19.
19. Damn. What did
the
you
ring
think,
bumped
Joe,
him?
just for shits and
giggles? The ring can't win this one. Stevie Richards, man.
That's a sad.
But it does win.
But it does win.
They're gone now.
It's already gone.
All right. 12 versus 5. Hogan, Savage, Bret Hart, Michaels. Joe, what do you got?
5.
5. Matt.
An afterthought.
12.
All right. Tiebreaker. What do you got?
What is it? 12 and what? I'm sorry.
12 and 5.
5.
Bret Michaels versus Hogan, Savage.
Oh my God! Just like my wife says every other Thursday, how can we get through this as fast as possible? Let me see.
You guys like to skip weeks? Are these staggered every others, or are you just front loading one week and the other one's the rest week?
There's a fuck schedule on the fridge. Sorry. Let me see. God damn, because the story was better on 5, but the wrestling was better on 12.
Hey, it's same thing I asked Joe. Execution or build up?
Sorry, bro. 5.
You're going to have to go with 5.
No! The mega powers explode, brother!
I'm sorry.
And here we go.
If it makes you feel better, it was not an easy choice.
This is not what when I was looking at this was not what I expected to be the last. You got Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 19 versus WrestleMania 5, Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage.
Can you know what's funny? Holy shit, when you really think about that, can you think of two better matches that represent their era better than those two matches?
That's a good point.
Like the 80s era and then like kind of like that wrestling era that really renaissanced in the early 2000s.
You're right.
Matt, what do you got?
When you really think about it, those are great representatives. Matt on
Jesus.
Thank you, algorithm.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I don't know why. I'm thinking about like saying it, and I hear the one Who Wants to Be a Millionaire like beat in the background of my mind. Like, edit that in.
No, because I'll get flagged by YouTube.
Right.
Dog Millionaire one in there.
Seconds of it, you're good.
I can't even hum it. We got flagged for some shit that.
I'm gonna go 5.
Joe,
5.
Damn. So it don't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter at this point. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go. You know what? Just for history's sake, so we're all on the same page. I know I'm the leader of the 19 charge throughout this tournament, but 5. It was a better story. God damn it! We gave that fucker the win. You know, it's one of those percentage of chance, right? David was the one who pointed out how many times Hogan had the main event. One of them fuckers was gonna win. Mm-hmm. He had like 7 fucking main events. His odds. We had like Jericho won.
But not only did you have X amount of matches, but you had the beginning, the rise, and the fall. So you had so many opportunities to get it right, dude. And we all eras of Hogan.
And if you really want to be honest about it, the 5 main event of all the Hogan matches was kind of that was the high point. Because Andre on the way up. Andre on the way, the first main event at WrestleMania, the match with Bundy, he was already established, so that was a step up, right? He was the champion. 3, Andre took him to the stratosphere. 4, they had the rematch with Andre in that tournament. It was just the one match, but it was a rematch. 5, the Mega Powers, boom, were there. Warrior 6, probably equal right there. Because he lost the match, we'll say that Hogan made kind of a lateral move. He didn't really drop it. He didn't go up either because Warrior is the one who walked away with the victory that night. And then, that's when you see it. You see that line start to dwindle down again. Yep. So the one that ended up, how many fucking main events, bro? Edge had 1. Jericho won. There were so many. Rollins won.
Yeah, but how many did Triple H have? I feel like Triple H had a shit ton of.
He had a few, but you know what's funny? If you look at all those main events,
it wasn't that many.
He only won like 1. Yeah, he was in 20. He was in 21. No, he wasn't in 21. Yeah, he was 21. Batista. He was in 22. He would have been in 23 if he would have torn his fucking quad. He had 3 main events in a row.
Triple H was in 20, 21,
16. 20. He was in 16.
25,
he was in 5.
Yeah.
He was in 2000.
32.
16.
But see, he didn't follow the Hogan formula because he was in all those main events. He lost all those main events. With the exception of Randy Orton, he never really beat anybody. His WrestleMania record is atrocious. It's really, really
huge.
Well, there you go. We got through the bracket. 2 good things came out of this. We had a great time, had a great bracket. It actually went really well. And the second best thing is we don't have to talk about NXT.
There you go. Everybody fucking wins.
Everybody wins.
I'll probably mention it a little bit next week considering it will have already happened.
That's fine.
So I could probably just go through what took place because I have a feeling a lot of the results that happened at TakeOver are going to be very important for the Raws and SmackDowns after Mania. I can already see the writing on the walls on certain talents, the way they've been used the last few weeks and how they're being booked for TakeOver. There might be a shift in the TakeOver in the NXT landscape moving forward. So I don't want to leave them out completely. We'll dabble a bit next week, and we'll talk about it a little bit before we get into the Mania card stuff. But I do want to thank you guys for being a part of this. I threw this shit at you guys at the very last minute. Matt didn't know about it till today. So thank you guys for being a part of this. We talked about some of our favorite Mania moments. We shared some stories. We went over the brackets, and we all discovered together that quite possibly the greatest WrestleMania main event was apparently way back at WrestleMania 5. we peaked that early. Everything else after that.
It was great.
Yeah.
No, I dig it.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Can't go wrong with that. Savage is somewhere up there smiling. I carry that big fuck through a whole year's worth of shit. Probably did.
This is.
It was a little more of that, but yeah, you're right.
Absolutely. So this is night 1 of WrestleMania. Joe.
Yo.
The number 2. BESCENE.com. 2BScene.com. Talk to him about it, Joe.
2BScene.com, where we want you to be seen. I've got that down
right
pat. I
into
just
it.
don't remember the rest of it. Anyway, at 2BScene.com, we bring our experience in film and editing right to your doorstep to get you seen on the internet. The quality of our camera work is unparalleled. And it's time for you to take a step up and step out of your camera phone and start going into some professional equipment.
There it is.
Call us at 2BScene to start your own web show today. Currently, you can see Trailer Fiend, where 2 guys talk about movie trailers and other fun pop culture references. Comic Conversation, where Brandon Lou gives you all the to-dos about comic and upcoming Marvel and DC Universe movies, shows, and comic books themselves. And we've got a brand new show coming out. I'm going to leave that one up to the air, but I will say it connects to anime.
Ooh.
And finally, for those music lovers out there, we have several music performers on 2BScene.com, but none can be aforementioned without saying that the podcast Disc Dungeon, which I am co-host of as well, takes the fray into the play as we dive down deep into discographies in the Disc Dungeon.
You started slipping into your Casey Kasem there toward the end.
Yeah. We're going down deep in this dungeon.
This dungeon, keep your feet on the ground and reach for the stars. Matthew Carabello, you said you ixnayed your Tampa stuff, but you've got some things in the work. If you have any projects or anything coming up, where they can catch you on social medias and the whatnots.
Sure. So of course the handle on Instagram is Matt_awesome17. You can follow me there. On there
There you go.
Also see a pro wrestling tee store. And while you're in there, when there's gonna be a discount, pick up this man's t-shirt. Pick up an AJ Orsini t-shirt while you're there.
Oh, there you go.
Besides that, you can follow me on Twitter, which is, again, like I said, I'm a big Edge fan, so it stayed that. It may not even change that. It is Mr_RatedR17 on Twitter. You can also find me on Twitch. I started streaming, my friends. I stream a few of my while I'm playing, which is Matt Awesome again on Twitch. And I'm gonna be wrestling in let me pull up the card real quick so I can remember the name of the show. Since I'm plugging it. It's gonna be on Twitch. It's gonna be MV Young's Polyam Cult Party 3. Be on Twitch on April 24th. So you can catch me there, and amongst a lot of other talent. That show's gonna be actually pretty lit. It's a big indie show, and can't wait to be wrestling here in the Bronx soon, very soon, hopefully.
Yeah, get those CDC regulations under control so we can have our wrestler back. Deceive Dave, please tell me you've gotten off your ass and you've got some shit on the YouTube.
Not quite yet.
Okay, we're not there yet. All right.
Not there yet. You're not there yet.
He's putting a lot of projects together. His deal is that he's doing them all at once.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, you're overloading yourself.
Slow grind. There's a lot of. I know, like I said, I've been saying this a lot, but there's a lot of fucking changes happening, and all for the better. But Jesus Christ, I just want something to be steady for like 1 week, so I can focus on something.
There you go.
It's so bad, but it's all good. Everything is good, and I haven't even had the chance to tell you about stuff that's going on, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, a lot of changes. I'm waiting for things to just kind of settle down, and it's looking like it's coming soon. So just keep your eyes open. I got some stuff coming up. I got a lot of things on my head I'm working on, so we'll get there slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely, absolutely.
Like a little chicken that could.
I dropped the video earlier explaining some of my exploits. Obviously, this is night one for the roundtable tonight. This will be airing on Saturday, my usual time slot, but it'll be a short week because Pombo, Dave, and Stephen James will be joining us live.
Oh, Stevie!
Next Thursday, we're going to be night two.
We'll piss him off for sure this time.
That prick will definitely. Hey, first of all, I was pissed. I was pissed aplenty here tonight. I just held it in a little better than before. Maybe because I was sober tonight. Because the last few times I was with you fucks, I was drinking from my mysterious cup.
The wine. All right, then we need to change that.
I drank the wine. I'm sorry.
WrestleMania is a special night, and it should be treated as such.
Yes, it will be
WrestleMania. If you want it.
A few of these.
I'm sorry. I drank the wine, baby. That was me. I'm sorry. But to answer some questions that I had, hey, Amy, doing commentary. Everybody was like, when are you going back to GSW for commentary? May 22nd, Richfield Park, New Jersey. GSW will be.
Oh, that's right by me.
Right by you, Richfield Park. We will be allowing fans in.
Come or
I will. What?
Can I show up?
Sure. Why not?
All right, sweet.
Yeah. So just let me know. May 22nd, they got a show going down. That's going to be for Fight TV. I'll be commentating once again, sitting down with Mike Falvo to get that done. As a manager, my tag team will be hitting the road in May. April 18th, we're going to be in Ridgefield Park.
Oh, can I show up?
Now that I think about it, yes, it's in the same spot, the Knights of Columbus VFW. We're going to be doing the tag match against unnamed opponents. I know the names. But
TBD?
I can't. No. IBD. I've determined, but we haven't.
Okay.
We have to work our way into that, and then we have another one. Damn it! It's also in North Jersey. I can't remember the town off the top of my head, but it's May 23rd for another company, Upper Limit Wrestling. We're going to be another TBD because apparently my team only gets booked in open challenges all of a sudden, which I'll have to have some discussion with the promoters about this. But it's cool. We make an open challenge. Team shows up. We beat the shit out of them. It's another payday. But that's what's going on with that. More things to announce along the way, including something super humongous for me personally on the live show, because I have to make sure it's confirmed before I say anything. So by the live show, we should have something. So thank you guys for joining me here tonight. I'm going to cut all this up and do some cool stuff with it. This ends night one of WrestleMania Roundtable. My first time doing dual roundtables. This is interesting shit. And we are on the road. After WrestleMania, we are on the road to episode 200. We'll be doing episodes counting down to episode 200. This will be Dave's first anniversary show as the co-host. He joined year 3, the 3-year anniversary. So 200 will be a milestone for us as a team. That'll be something that we'll be getting into for that. And we're going to be doing some more interviews down the line. A lot of stuff going on. So thank you guys for enjoying. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you guys for downloading. Thank you guys all for being a part of tonight's episode. And we'll see you next week live on Facebook Live.
100 episodes, now pay him.
And make sure that you buy my husband's t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/AJOUM. Please, he needs this.
Listen to my daddy show. He's the best, so I don't know.
Warning. The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. I'm going to have to edit that out too now.
It does that every time.
I know.
I can give you